Hello everyone, welcome to another Planet Coaster 2 video. Today we have unlimited funds to build the biggest and baddest theme park we can possibly build. If you guys are enjoying these long theme park builds, let's get this one to 800 likes to lock the next one. And if you guys also wouldn't mind subscribing, we're so incredibly close to 40,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your support. And if you guys have any suggestions for themes we can do in the next videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. And without further ado, grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, so let's get right into the video. Hello everyone, welcome to our tropical paradise build. We are going to be building the biggest and baddest theme park you can possibly build. Let's start out with a entrance here. So obviously we have some guests trying to enter our park. Let's go ahead and shut that down. There's nothing to see here. What I want to do is keep this very tropical. Honestly, I'm just going to keep the buses where they are. And I'd like to imagine like big ponds on either side of this. And then once you're kind of walking through maybe like a kind of a winding path, there's just going to be a big open kind of entrance, kind of like a main sign to enter your park. I think it'll look pretty cool. And then obviously we're gonna have some crazy roller coasters. We have unlimited funds in today's build. We have $1 million to spend. We have absolutely no research tree. Today is basically just about building the biggest park we could possibly build. What I'd like to maybe do is right off the bat, can I? Oh, I guess I can't. I just gotta connect that to power. So let's get some paths here. So I'm just gonna get a regular old path. Let's set our width. Let's just go with a vertical path. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then since we're gonna have some railings on either side, I think we could probably, I guess we could add our railings after the fact, but I kind of just want this to kind of curl around and then go into the main part of our park here. Have our grand entrance over here. And then, yeah, we also need some railings. Let's check our terrain really quick. Let's see what we have for our actual entrances. So let's go to scenery. I think we should have some pretty cool things here. So let's go to blueprints, and then we can actually see, like, we could have like, is that cool? I mean, obviously that would probably make our guests fairly wet, but I actually kind of like this for like where a theme park is going to be. It'll kind of allow you to put some paths going in different directions. But I definitely want to have a theme park. I want to have some roller coasters. Definitely want to have some cool stuff here. So let's get an entrance. This would be definitely cool to have, like maybe in the water. I might even lower this down just a little bit. Like I'm just gonna put it right there. Like as soon as you walk in, I'm gonna have a big pond here, maybe a big pond on this side, and then some cool stuff. So this is definitely a nice little start for that. I also wouldn't mind having like kind of a fountain somewhere. I'd like to have, I don't know where I could even put this. I could put this like right at the entrance, kind of like right here as you walk in. Yeah, I actually don't mind that. I'll have to lower it down a little bit, but let's just maybe lower this just to about there and see how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. I could maybe go a little bit further, but I'm going to leave that for now. Have some really cool fountains to start us off here. And then for our grand entrance, honestly, something like this. Just like a main entrance to kind of hit the rest of our park. Let's see if we can go back a little bit here. I'm just gonna demolish a couple here, and then I'm gonna take this on and just get going straight out to our park, and I'll have my main entrance right here. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having this. I feel like this would look pretty cool. As soon as we hit kind of that straight zone, we could put that probably like just like this maybe. I feel like that would look pretty cool. How does that look? I think that looks pretty sweet, honestly. And now we obviously need to get some water in here. So let's go to our terrain. Let's dig down into our earth. I don't want it too deep, so let's maybe lower our intensity a little bit, increase our size. Let's just go like, if you go too deep, you kind of take away that nice aqua tropical water, because I think we're going to use the tropical water if we can. So I like this depth. I feel like that looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to kind of get going just like that, and maybe around this whole thing. Then yeah, we're definitely going to need some railings on either side here. So I think what I'd like to do is maybe just take this and taper it off kind of this way. And then I can continue on through here. And actually what might be kind of cool is to have a nice little jet out of this path, kind of going like this. So I wonder if I could do that. Honestly, kind of what it shows there. How do I do that? I think I could probably just take my line builder. Let's make sure submerge, live style. Let's add some railings to this. And I don't know how great this is going to look. I guess it's kind of just trial and error. Let's just give it a try here. I just want to kind of have it go out like this. And then maybe kind of back like that. And then circle back in. Honestly, I kind of like that. We got our supports on the bottom, which is good. That just kind of opens it up. I could maybe even have some shops throughout here. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. And then maybe even continue this on over here. Yeah, I might actually do that. Let's continue this on right there. And I'm just gonna kind of go out like this. And then I could have some shops kind of going on this side. I feel like that would look pretty good. Yeah, let's maybe have it like kind of taper towards the rest of our path. A little bit unfortunate there, but yeah, I can add my railings after the fact, but I should be able to make that kind of work. So let's continue on our terrain here. Let's keep digging down into the foundation of the earth. Mount Doom, if you want to call it that. And then obviously I can do something cool with this. Like I kind of imagine a nice little kind of hill or mountain over here to kind of close this in a little bit. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. And obviously I'll have to put something either way. So let's just raise this up, but not too tall. And then yeah, I can kind of close this in just a little bit and maybe even go around it a little bit more. Actually, this is kind of our centerpiece. Let's just kind of keep it like that. And I guess I will kind of build this up a little bit more, kind of just like that, and then put our water in there. I kind of want to see what that looks like. But for now, I'll just build up all of this just so I can keep adjusting it. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. Let's maybe roughen our ground a little bit here. And then let's see what kind of water we can get in here. So we can get some clear water, we can get some rough water, some natural. I think I'm just going to go with the clear water. I feel like that looks decent. Let's see what that looks like for now. Let's just put it maybe right there. Honestly, I kind of love that. I could have like a boat over here. And this I might actually lower down just a tiny bit. Kind of like that maybe. I don't mind that. You can have a little tunnel kind of going underneath there. I feel like that looks pretty good. And then it's kind of tied in fairly nice. We got some music coming in within this entrance. I'm definitely liking this so far. So I could definitely put a boat in here. I don't know if this is really deep enough, I guess. And the other thing we could have is have our first little hobbit hole in here. I like to put hobbit holes in every one of my builds. So I think that'd be a perfect little spot for that. So let's build this up and let's create a little spot for that. And actually, I think we'll even want a little bit more height here. Maybe kind of just like roughen it up a little bit more. Let's lower a couple of these, maybe a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can find our hobbit hole here. You know what I could do? I found this nice little waterfall centerpiece. Now this could probably go kind of in the corner and then I could have my hobbit hole kind of next to it. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Let's maybe lower this down a little bit. Kind of like that maybe. Maybe up a little bit more than out. I guess they'll have to be pretty low. So let's maybe put it like right there. Let's see what that kind of looks like. I feel like once I build kind of around it, I think it'll look pretty good. But let's just see how that kind of looks. And I think it should probably go where our water is. So now I think we could probably get our water in here. I'm maybe going to clean this up just a tiny bit. Just push this back. I'm going to lower our size here. Just to kind of have a little bit more control over the whole situation. Okay, that should be pretty good. Let's add our water now. And I like that height. I feel like that looks pretty good. And then obviously this we might have to raise up a little bit. Let's raise it up just so it's kind of actually splashing into the water. Like, how does that look? I feel like that's not horrible. It's kind of got its own little thing going on, and then it'll obviously trickle over into the pond. I could probably go a little bit lower. Just a tiny bit lower. Okay, I think that should be pretty good. We got a nice little waterfall in here. Let's tie this into the whole theme here. So let's increase our size. And now we can kind of build this up a little bit more into the actual mountain itself. Just so it looks a little bit more natural. I might have to get rid of my water just to kind of fix some of these spots. But up here, definitely want to maybe push this back just a little bit, and then let's kind of just raise the top just so it kind of hides that just a little bit. And then let's make this look a little bit better. I feel like that looks fairly natural. Let's maybe push this back just a little bit. I want to kind of keep all these nice natural rocks in there. I think that looks pretty good. I think that should be decent. And now let's get rid of our water just so we can kind of touch up a little bit more of this terrain. Like this stuff, I want to kind of push back just a little bit. Push this stuff back a little bit. I think that should be good. I love the way this is looking so far. Let's throw our water back in there. Let's get going right about there. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to add some railings in here as well. So let's go to our railings. Let's throw that on. And then I think we could probably get going. I think it's this one. Oh no, it's our customize tool. Yeah, there we go. We can put our railings in here. Perfect. That'll keep people nice and safe over there. And then over here, I'll probably have some water as well. Now I kind of need to decide kind of what I want to do with that. Honestly, this would be kind of cool, like right in the middle, and then have our... I'm actually going to scrap this. I could probably get something a little bit cooler. Let's see if we can put something else kind of in the middle here. And I might be able to kind of make this look a little bit cooler, but we'll see. Like this would be kind of cool. Obviously it's quite insane, but I don't want it to take away from our grand entrance here. So I think first what we might do, let's throw some shops here. Obviously we have unlimited money here, so let's just get some shops. Let's just get like, I like this resort bathroom, so this will be a nice little start. This is the change room, I guess. We will need a change room no matter what, but let's get a toilet. I guess we could put this maybe just off to the side here. I could maybe have it kind of close off our park here. Have a nice little toilet there to start. And let's maybe continue on here. Let's maybe lower our size to like maybe a 4 or even a 5, I think should be fine. And let's just come right off of here and connect right to there. Should have a nice little path there. And then I guess I could maybe do something here as well. I guess we'll just leave that. We'll have our little path there. Let's take our terrain and shuffle this down just a tiny bit as well. Increase our size. Let's maybe go like 12. I think 12 might be a nice little size. Then obviously we'll have to add some railings over here. But I think I'm just going to do the same kind of thing. Just kind of enclose this, and I can maybe... Yeah, I really like the way this looks. I still need to get my Hobbit hole in here. So before we get ahead of ourselves, let's kind of take care of that. So I guess let's put our water back and let's get our Hobbit hole and see kind of what it looks like and where we want to put it. As you guys know, I love Lord of the Rings. I hope you guys love Lord of the Rings. It's kind of hard not to. Comment down below your favorite Lord of the Rings character and who you think is the main reason why they all survived. Who is the main man behind actually getting to ring to Mordor to burn it? That's what I want to know, or to throw into the fire. I personally think it's Samwise Gamgee. He's my favorite character in the entire movie, and honestly, Sam or Frodo definitely couldn't have done it without him. So that's kind of just what I'm rolling with. So let's get our Hobbit hole here in the theme of Sam. Here is one. So we got a Hobbit hole here. And this I kind of want to just build like right in, or maybe even like right into here would be kind of cool. Oh, I love that. And maybe have another one over here. Yeah, let's maybe just build this kind of like into here. Literally just like that. I feel like that would look pretty cool. I'll have to lower it just a little bit, or actually, I don't think I need to. Let's get rid of our water. And then we'll kind of have to figure out where our water will come to. But let's take our terrain tool, lower it to maybe like a 4 or 3. And let's just build this up a little bit, just so it looks a little bit more natural. And then I might have to actually take some terrain and come out here just for the entrance, just so they can service this thing. Let's come up just a tiny bit. Let's actually decrease our intensity, and then I think we could probably bring this up just a tiny bit. Like literally, yeah, just like that. That's perfect. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, we're still floating just a tiny bit. So let's come up just a little bit there. And it doesn't have to be perfectly even either. We can definitely have this kind of like that, kind of just built into the cliffside. I feel like this looks fairly decent. I'll maybe push this down just a tiny bit. And then maybe even have this nice and rounded off. Okay, I think that's decent. Let's maybe raise it up just a tiny bit. Let me get rid of that. Okay, I don't mind that. We got a nice little stepping stones in here. I'll have to lower it just a tiny bit at the doorway, just so they can actually open it. But I think that's pretty good. And then I think I'll even kind of have it climb up through here a little bit. I love the terrain tools in this game. They're definitely a lot better than Planet Zoo after playing that game a few times. Definitely a big improvement. So we can have like a nice little entrance going over here. Nice gradual entrance. I feel like that's not too steep. And then we can kind of push this back a little bit. Let's increase our intensity just a tiny bit. Let's just create a little bit more room here. And then maybe even lift this up a tiny bit. I think that looks pretty good. It'll kind of keep everything in. We got our little Hobbit hole here. It is definitely looking amazing. Now let's see if we can integrate it into our little cliffside a little bit better. That is looking absolutely amazing, I think. Let's throw in our water here. Let's see what it looks like now with our water. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. That is so cool. I could probably put like a little picket fence around here. Let's see what we have for that. So fence, let's go to custom, and then I could do like I can maybe do like these little posts like this, and then maybe lower them down just a little bit, just so the green is showing. Actually, let's maybe delete that. Let's see if we can find a better one. This one's a little bit lower. We'll definitely have to keep this looking pretty good. So let's maybe put a nice little rail there. And then I guess let's put one like here, and then let's see if we can find a nice little net. Honestly, this is pretty cool too. Like it's just kind of like a happy little fence. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Or we could do like honestly, this would probably look the best. So let's connect this to there. And then I think we could probably move this kind of just like on top of that. And then we can kind of just take this, and then we can copy that and then start moving. Or I guess we don't want all of that. Let's just take like that. Or if we just took both of these, I think we should make that look a little bit better. Let's maybe turn a little bit more. I feel like that looks pretty decent. Let's maybe connect it a little bit better here. Let's make it look like it actually connects up to that one. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna leave everything that you see here. Like, I think it's kind of, it looks good. I don't mind it at all. Let's lower this maybe just a tiny bit. Actually, let's decrease this, maybe make this a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit easier for them to kind of get down there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Got our water kind of along here. I could probably close this in a little bit, but honestly, it's pretty nice. I want to keep it kind of Hobbit themed over there. And then I could probably even, I mean, I don't want to get too crazy, but I could put a boat in here. We'll maybe decide that a little bit later, but let's bring up this just a tiny bit. Let's maybe push this back just a little bit. Make it look as rocky as we can. And then let's kind of integrate this into the cliffside if we can. Kind of like that, maybe. That's not horrible. We'll have to fix this. Let's just kind of reveal that a little bit more. Yeah, we can get our water in here. I think that would look pretty good. And then let's fix this so it looks a little bit better. We'll have to roughen up our floor edge here. Let's kind of get going this. And then let's maybe go a little bit wider. Kind of like that. And then even if I took our water all the way over here, I feel like that would look pretty good. Kind of something like that. And then I'll have to put some railings over here. Let's fix this really quick. Decrease our size. Kind of like that, I guess, but not like that. Maybe a little bit higher. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's roughen this up a little bit. Just ever so slightly. Love that I can roughen up anywhere I want. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's flatten a couple of these spots out. Let's get some water in here. Let's raise up our kind of cliffside just a tiny bit. Okay, how is that looking? I think I'll have to lower a couple of these spots still. Oh, that's the wrong one. Lower a couple of them just to make sure our water doesn't go too low, and then it's revealing a lot of those spots. But let's do that. Let's check our water really quick. Let's maybe put it there. I think it matches this side. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think that's not too bad. I don't mind that at all. And then I'll probably put like a ship in here. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. And maybe build this up a little bit more. Well, let's see if we can find some scenery stuff here. I'd like to find some sort of like, honestly, just like a submarine would be kind of cool to put in here. Actually, our submarine could probably go like here. But I probably want deeper water. Oh, it blows bubbles too. Okay, that's no brainer. Let's maybe put this kind of just like this as you walk in. How does that look? Okay, I actually like that. It's kind of stationary. Everybody knows that this isn't so deep that you can put a submarine in there. But this is just stationary and it's just blowing bubbles. It just adds to the atmosphere. I absolutely love it. And then I'll have to put something over here as well, but honestly, this can kind of just be a nice little viewing area, and then the actual like park will start on this side. This is where I'll have like lots of our food vendors and stuff like that. I don't need to have them over here quite yet. We have our bathroom at least, so that should be nice for them. Let's get our path extras here, and let's paint in some railings here really quick. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good so far. Don't want anybody falling in with the sharks. That'd be kind of cool if I could put sharks in here. That should be next. That should be like a DLC or something. Kind of like that. Okay, I actually like that. And then I guess I could maybe put a couple of railings over here as well, just to kind of tie that in just a tiny bit better. Okay, I like that. Let's make sure we didn't miss any. I think it looks pretty good. That is our grand entrance. I actually like this. You walk in, you just see lots of cool little water things. I'll have to build this up a little bit higher just to kind of match this side, just to kind of close this in. I feel like I need to do. So let's see if we can raise this up just a tiny bit. Oh, that tree is in our way. We're stuck in the tree. We are stuck in the tree. Let's raise this up just a little bit. Make it look kind of mountainous. And then I want it to kind of match the other side to kind of create this little dome of fun and water excitement. And then obviously nobody can escape. We don't want anybody to escape. We need them to stay and spend their money. And why would they not want to stay here? I feel like just the ultimate theme park anyway. So let's just build this up a little bit. Let's have some higher spots just so it adds a little bit of contrast to this. And then I might have to even demolish our water just for a quick second. And then I can fix some of these spots that are kind of flat. And then I'll make it look a little bit more daring. I think I like that. Okay, how does that look? I feel like this doesn't look too bad. I got a nice high spot over here. I want them to just kind of slowly start being able to see the park once they crest over here. Like they'll see some roller coasters off in the distance over here. I think that'll look pretty good. Let's do that. And then I'm just going to quickly paint some rock into here. Let's get some rough rock. Now let's paint that over here just to make it look a little bit better. And then maybe even the ground just a little bit. I think that's a little bit better. Then over here, I'll do the same thing, kind of just paint this in a little bit more. I want to keep this kind of Hobbit looking, if I can. Gonna do that. Okay, I like that for sure. Let's add our water back in. I think it's like right there. Yeah, that's perfect. And I could probably even make this a little bit deeper. I don't want it to go too deep because I want it to still blow bubbles. Yeah, people gotta look over the edge, see that. I think that looks pretty good. We have railings going all the way to here. Actually, we need to fix this. So let's see if we can add a railing there. That looks pretty good. So obviously our buses will arrive through here. They'll come through here and magically appear after driving over the massive Hawaiian mountains to get to here. These are quite the off-road buses. But I think this is a nice little entrance. I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, I kind of like the idea of continuing on our little mountain and then create like just a giant, like just picture you're walking through the biggest mountains you've ever seen. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't want them like massive, like we're not talking Banff or anything, but let's just kind of get this a little bit bigger. And I'm actually going to take my path and get it going a little bit further. So let's increase our size of our width. Rails off, and then this could probably just... I don't want it to go like this way. And then maybe squiggle that way. Just so when you walk in, you see just like a mountain cliff face right in front of you. And then I kind of want my park like kind of hidden through the mountains. And then you kind of just go through random little maze paths to find which ride you want to go to. And then you kind of ride there and you're like, oh, teacups, nice. I'm glad I found that. That's kind of what I'm envisioning. So let's do that. Let's pull this up as big as we can. Just big mountain cliff faces. Kind of like this. And then actually we'll kind of need a little spot for a food court. So what I'm kind of thinking is having right off of here, like a nice little tunneled spot going to our food court. And it's kind of like a hidden little food court over here. Let's go on what I'm envisioning. Let's build this up pretty tall. We're gonna have to name this the Mountainous build. This looks pretty good. Obviously unlimited funds, so we'll have to build some pretty crazy stuff. And then I'm gonna flatten this out a little bit more. I just want a little bit more room in here. This is our main kind of, let's kind of open this up a little bit. And then people can kind of enter in from either side. Kind of looks like a mushroom cloud from a atomic bomb. It's kind of interesting. Well, let's build this up a little bit taller. So let's go kind of like this. Oh, I feel like that looks pretty cool. Nice and tall. Actually, it got a little bit too big in that spot. So let's maybe lower that a little bit. I kind of like this little cliff face. Just picture Mufasa holding up Simba. Or no, what's his name? I can't even remember what that monkey's name is. I'm not thinking Mufasa. Mufasa's his dad, I think. I don't know what the heck I'm saying. Let's kind of fix this a little bit. And let's kind of just even this out a little bit more. Kind of like that. I feel like that looks pretty good. And then obviously our paths will have to be spot on. Got our little mushroom cloud in here. And let's fix this a little bit more. Just to create a little bit more room in here. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's nice and sheltered. I guess our facilities, let's get our main kind of thing in here. So let's draw this in. So this will honestly, I don't want it to like tunnel or anything. So let's just get it going out this way. And this will be kind of interesting. Kind of just like out here. Kind of like that. And I'll just fill in these spots with a little bit more terrain. But hopefully it doesn't stop me from going this far. I'm at 63% so far. Oh, I completely ruined it. See, that's what drives me insane. You can't just go back one. Let's see if we can get going all the way to here. Come on. Oh, we're at 78%. Okay, let's see if we can get back there. We need to get back. Okay, right there. Oh, that's absolutely perfect because that's exactly what I was looking for. We got our nice big wooden path. We could add some railings through here. It might be a little bit of a dangerous area, but this is definitely what I was looking for. It's kind of hidden in here. This is where we're going to have our little food court. So let's obviously figure out where we want to put these things. So let's go with like all the fixins. So we're going to need some power in here, obviously. But before we do that, let's get Gelato Bros right off the start. Let's just put that right there. I feel like that's a nice little spot for that. Let's clear this up a little bit just to allow a little bit of room for those trees to kind of live and breathe there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Gelato Bros, gotta have that. I could have a couple of food trucks, but I also kind of like the idea of like these little beach stands kind of in here. Like that doesn't look too bad, right? I think that's fine. I'm fine with that. And then we also need probably a couple bathrooms in here as well. I guess where we could have those is like right off of here. Kind of built into the mountain would actually be kind of cool. Kind of like that. Looks a little bit weird, but we'll roll with it. Let's push this back just a tiny bit. Just so it looks a little bit better. But yeah, it's completely built into the mountain, which I think does look pretty cool. Yeah, I don't mind that. We got our bathroom in here. And then let's get a couple more buildings here. So let's go with like a Viking. This would be kind of cool and like built into the actual mountainside as well. Obviously, where you have a bathroom, you must have a pip shot juice. That's just a rule. It's unwritten, but it's my rule. We could have a couple of food trucks. I could probably do like some back-to-back little food trucks in the middle, maybe. Maybe because right as you enter in a couple of these food trucks. That looks pretty good. Is there a couple other ones? We got that vegan one. Let's get like Gelato Bros. And kind of just enclose this a little bit just to kind of create a nice little fun atmosphere. Let's maybe put that right there. As soon as people walk in, they're just like, food is here. That's kind of what I'm looking for. We need a hot dog stand. This, I might even go, let's split this up a little bit more. And let's just put this kind of like that. Just people can kind of walk through here and traverse a little bit better. And if I could have one more, I feel like that'd be kind of nice. A little splash emporium. This would be kind of cool. We don't need that, I don't think. Oh god, I have this pizza pen. So this pizza pen is actually like made for being built into the side of mountains. So let's kind of just put this like right, I don't know, like right here maybe. And then I'll build this in a little bit better. Actually, that's so cool. I absolutely love that. Let's push this in a little bit. And I'll have to kind of just fix it a little bit more. Just so it kind of shows all that stuff. A little bit more. I think there's like a garbage can back there. Push this back a little bit. And then I'm actually going to raise over top just a little bit. I feel like that's enclosed pretty good. Obviously our smokestacks can still come out the top. I'm fine with that. And let's push this back a little bit. That's absolutely beautiful. Let's stamp this in. Let's get our this one and we can kind of just stamp those off. That's perfect. Absolutely love that. We're gonna need some seating for all of these people that are gonna come here. So obviously, oh, this is kind of cool. Classic toilets. I don't think that really fits in here. Let's maybe go with like a, oh, a mine entrance would be so cool. Can you actually like go through? Where does it like come up through? I just want to see what this looks like. Let's go underneath. I don't think it really goes anywhere. I'm assuming it's literally, yeah, it's literally just an entrance to the actual park. That'd be kind of cool to enter in the mine through here. I might be able to kind of finagle it, to be honest. can I do that? I'll have to delete some things, but let's just get this here. If I do that, I think that's fine. I'll just have to delete this part. So let's delete that. Oh, not that stuff. So that deletes that, and then I'll need an actual like path going through here. Is the only issue I see. Oh, that would be so cool. Honestly, I might have to just get rid of it. Let's just keep this for now. I could probably get another cool little entrance for this little spot. I could even do like these things. It would be pretty cool. Or this. This is what I want. This is what I've been waiting for my entire life. So if I get this and kind of put it like right off the edge of this, how would that look? Not horrible. Obviously I have to move this. So let's just move this right now. Let's just put that right there, I think. Should be fine. And then, yeah, this is kind of built into here. And then obviously we'll have to get something on this side. We could have like the king going over here, kind of going in for a smooch or something like that. But let's make it a little bit more symmetrical here. I might have to kind of angle it a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. I feel like that's not horrible. I could build this in a little bit more. Or maybe push it back just a tiny bit. That's not horrible. It's kind of tied into the mountain there. But that is very like enter through here is kind of what I'm looking for. So that's definitely what it's saying. I don't mind that. I think that's pretty good. This is our entrance for the food court. We're gonna need a couple more little areas going through here. So let's, or not areas. We need a couple more food courts, buildings. Do we have a Viva La Vegan? I don't think we do. Yeah, let's get that. Let's put this just like right behind there. And then both of these, I might actually just move. Let's move this over just a little bit. Actually, I don't think I really can. That's all connected. I'm just going to leave that. Nice little entrance through here. I'm going to get a couple more little buildings. Like a photo kiosk would be kind of cool. But where do I want to put that? Like I could just put that like actually in here. Like these I'll actually have to like build into the wooden area. I think that would look pretty good. Let's get some actual buildings here. Let's get this gift shop right next to it. I think that looks pretty good. That's fantastic. Definitely want that. And we have a soda. We have a Pip Top juice right there. So I feel like we can maybe have a soda thing over here. Because we'll need to actually access the back of here for the garbages. I think that looks decent. Let's get a burger place right next to it. Pizza pen. Actually, we already have a pizza pen. It's actually right there. So let's get like a... maybe just... chief beef. Chief beef would be pretty good.
Tasty.
And then a latte love would be pretty good. Let's get that. Okay, for some reason it's messing up our floor. Instead of a latte love, let's just put it like over here. Would that work? Please? Okay, that works. Okay, I like that. Actually, these will kind of flash a little bit. So I probably want to just put a little bit of, let's get our chief beef again. And let's kind of just get going out like this maybe. Just so we can kind of enter in that a little bit better. And then let's get our latte love, of course. And then we can kind of just angle that in a little bit as well. Kind of just like that. I don't mind that. And then we can kind of enter in and actually take those garbages out. Actually, in fact, this looks a little bit weird like that. Let's maybe turn it out like this with our path. Let's do that. I think that looks a little bit better. Got a couple of buildings over here. I think I'll do the same thing with this. So hat's fantastic. Let's, I have to fix that. Let's just leave that actually. And then in the main little spot here, honestly, I kind of just want to get like, there's a huge food court in here. We could get like a restaurant. Honestly, yeah. I would like to have this. So let's just put that like right there, and it's kind of just integrated into our mountain. Obviously we'll have to fix this. A little bit of Hawaiian theme. Never hurt anybody. And let's kind of just free that up a little bit. That looks absolutely perfect. This is kind of enclosed back here. Honestly, kind of cozy. This is super cozy back here. I'd like to sit back there, and then we will need some power for this as well, but this is looking a lot better. And then I could probably even get some trees or something around here. It'd be nice if I could just delete like a little bit of spots around here. But we got a restaurant here. I think this looks pretty good. We are desperately needing some power. I feel like we definitely need some power. Let's quickly get some bench stuff. Let's go to custom, get some path extras. Let's get some benches. What could we maybe get? A fairy tale. That'd be kind of cool. That's definitely interesting. Let's just get like a nice classic planet coaster. So obviously we'll maybe get a little bench over, maybe tucked over here. Maybe a couple of them. Kind of offset a little bit. And then actually, I think I want to get some of these in here right off the bat because we're going to need some anyway. And then we can kind of just copy the entire thing. So let's go with like, this would kind of shade people, but it's not super ideal. Let's just go with maybe that. Let's maybe throw this in here. Kind of like that. I don't mind that at all. And then I'll have to throw this in a little bit as well. Or just as well, I suppose. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm not going to do that for all of them. I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take hopefully both of them. Okay, there we go. And now we can just duplicate these and put them somewhere else. Like I could even get another one over here. I think that's pretty good. And then I could put some over here as well. And then I'll need some garbages throughout here. Get a couple over here. Kind of like that, just to fill in these little areas. And this one will definitely need some shade. Kind of like that. I think that looks pretty good. I want to keep all of this area kind of open. But I guess I can maybe do a few of these in here. Kind of just randomly placed in here. Kind of like that. Let's get some garbages in here now. Obviously for our bins, let's just go with like a classic. Maybe just one of these. Like we could probably just put this on the edge there. Maybe one over here. And then throughout here, let's put a few of these. Put a couple of garbages in here. Put one there. Actually, that one's gonna have its own special one. Let's get like a nice wooden one. I feel like that would look pretty cool. And then we'll have to open all of these, obviously. Let's get a couple more garbages. Let's get one there, and then maybe one kind of tucked in back there. I think that's definitely enough garbages. I'm happy with that. I'm actually really happy with this. It looks really good. I'll have to add a couple of trees in here, just kind of, or fix it a little bit, but let's continue this on a little bit. And make this as sweet as we possibly can. So let's, I don't want to like completely overhang here. So honestly, I'm gonna have to fix some of this. Let's go back and kind of just have like a nice big wall. Oh shoot, actually, I want it a little bit closer here. So I don't have to add a railing throughout here, but got some nice fun music coming in. Hope you guys enjoy that. I mean, I didn't make the music, but I kind of wish I did. Sounds great. Let's build this up a little bit more. Kind of like that. That looks absolutely epic. Maybe build that up a little bit more. Okay, we got some power issues here, so let's get some power. I think it's under facilities. Let's go to, yeah, let's just get our classic power generator. Honestly, we have unlimited money, so let's just get one of these. Where would we even want to put one of these? I think I could probably have most of our power stuff over here. So I'm actually going to tunnel through here instead of actually just taking that out. So let's just get like one of these. Let's get a staff path. And then let's kind of pick which one we want. I mean, I guess that's fine. Yeah, let's maybe roll with that. Line width is good. Let's maybe do 5 actually. And then let's maybe tunnel if we can. And it kind of just automatically tunnels, but let's just kind of get going through here. Just out into this general area. I could probably have some generators over here. And then I guess I can maybe have like my staff buildings over here. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Let's put our first generator right here. Or not generators, sorry, our solar panels. Let's just put that right there. And that looks pretty weird. I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's just go. Let's lower it just a tiny bit more. Kind of like that. And then we will need a path going from there. So let's just kind of do that. That's pretty weird, but I guess we can kind of service that. Or let's just make this bigger, I guess. Let's just do like a 12. Let's just do that. That's fine. Okay, we got our solar panels, and now we can kind of just get a distributor going through here. So we have 300 power to work with. Let's kind of see what the heck we can even get in here. So obviously we could probably put a, let's go right off of this. So let's just get a distributor. And then we could probably even just put it like, if we could do this entire area in one go, that would be kind of nice. So let's just put this like, obviously if we could hide it, that would be lovely. To power all that. Well, how do I want to do this? I could literally just put it like underground maybe. Just an underground distributor. I guess that's the thing. Sure, let's do that. We're going to have underground power for all of this. Powering all of these, and off of there we'll have individual little electrical boxes and wires going to all these buildings. So that should be fine. Now we can kind of open all of this up. Guests can start coming. And this is where our little maze kind of starts coming. So I'm going to build this up even a little bit bigger. If I can. I want this like absolutely huge. I want them to have absolutely no clue where they are, who they are, where they're going, like nothing. I don't want them to know anything. I want it to be kind of a maze. So let's, oh gosh, that looks really weird. Let's fix this a little bit. Kind of like that. And then through here. I'll have to continue this on a little bit, but I think that's fine for now. Let's build this up a little bit more. And now we can kind of fix this. This looks pretty goofy for sure. Maybe lower that just a tiny bit. And now we can go in here and kind of just to get like a nice little tunnel going through here. I think that looks pretty good. Open up just a tiny bit for those claustrophobic people. Okay, we have our mountain looking pretty scary. Let's push this back just a little bit. Kind of just like that. And now we can kind of just tunnel through here. I'm actually going to build this up a little bit more. This looks kind of weird. Make it look a little bit better, and then through here I can kind of fix it. Just so it's not completely flat. Kind of just like that. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, our first little big ride. We could maybe get like a cool flat ride. Let's just go with like, obviously when you first enter a park, you want it just like the kind of chill little flat rides to start out with. A Viking upswing would be pretty cool, but obviously having like a sun flare would be cool. We could have Oh my gosh. A collider? That's pretty cool. The queue line could probably even start like right off of here. I'm just gonna have this like kinda right there if I can. Oh, this is so cool. I'm obsessed with this already. So this is kind of our, is this the entrance? And this is our exit. So let's get our entrance. Can I do that? Okay, now I can do this. Perfect. I think our rails are on. Perfect. And then, yeah, this will kind of just have to come out right to there. But this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Let's see if we can just get going right to here. Kind of tunnels through there. Oh, that is so cool. And then you kind of arrive at your Viking upswing. And let's get this. Can I please take this, please? There we go. And now this, I can kind of just get it right beside that. For our exit. I like that. Then they can keep riding it if they'd like. We're gonna need some power over here as well. Are we pretty maxed out? So we have, I only use 75 power, so we could definitely use this a little bit more. Let's get another distributor and let's hide it kind of underground again, maybe. Honestly, if I could just keep my distributors just hidden, that would be pretty ideal. Let's get the more cool stuff. What I'm kind of imagining is this is obviously Viking themed. We already have this thing. Like I could have some cool stuff. Like I'm gonna build, I'd like to have some more Viking stuff kind of along here. Let's increase our size here a little bit. And then through here, I kind of want just more Viking themed stuff. Let's maybe put something, let's add a little shelf for this. And then I'm just gonna add like a little Viking themed thing in here. So let's see what we have. Let's go to our blueprints, and obviously we have some cool Viking stuff. But which one we would like to use, I don't know. I feel like this would be pretty cool. Come on, if I could get it in a good spot. If I could put this like right here, that would be so epic. Let's just put it like right here. And then we might have to kind of lower this just a little bit. Now let's push it this way just a little bit. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. We got our swords in there, we got our fire. That is absolutely epic. Let's raise our mountain kind of around it. Oh, didn't want to do that. Let's actually decrease our size. And we can kind of control this a little bit better now. Yeah, we can kind of just build up and around this to kind of make it our main. Like, that is so cool. That's absolutely beautiful. Got kind of the Viking, or not the Viking, kind of temperate trees around here, which is pretty nice. Let's push this down just a little bit. And it's right along there. Like, that is so cool. Let's continue on with this. Increase our size a little bit. And kind of just enclose this. This is what I want for like every one of my rides. Just like completely enclosed. I don't want any of them to be able to see like all of our power stations over here. And then over here, I could probably have a staff building. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Let's do staff buildings. And then something cool. Or I guess just a large staff building might be fine. Just keep people kind of happy. Might as well put it like right there, so it's powered. And then I could probably have a smaller staff building right off of there. Kind of like that. Let's take this, and then we could kind of just go off of here. connect into there, kind of like that. That's not too bad. And then kind of make this look a little bit nicer, I suppose. A couple of trees maybe. Let's go with some temperate trees maybe. Just add a little bit of pizzazz in here. And I could probably close this in. I'm just going to leave this open-ended for now in case I want to do something over here. But I definitely don't mind this. Let's maybe see if we can make this a little bit cooler. Increase our intensity, and let's maybe do avoid paths off. And kind of just put some trees in here. Having some nice fall looking trees would be kind of cool too. Actually, I think I hate all of that. I'm just gonna get rid of all of that, and I'm just gonna get some tropical trees in here instead. That doesn't make any sense. So let's go tropical. We can even do Mediterranean. No, let's do some tropical. Definitely want to enclose this a little bit. We got some nice rocks in there. Let's just kind of make this look a little bit nicer. And maybe in through here as well. I actually like that. That's kind of enclosed a little bit. Let's add a little bit of smaller plants. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's maybe add some over here as well. Yeah, I actually like that. This is pretty good for a little staff area. We have our staff areas, that's perfect. We have our first ride. And this I kind of want to build up even a little bit taller. If I can. Make it look pretty scary. And enclose through here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Make this a little bit bigger in through here. Yeah, just really make this huge. And then obviously I want these mountains to kind of look a little bit more natural. So let's add some girth to them. Hashtag girth in the comments. People will be like, what the heck? Let's put some girth down there. There we go. I think this is enclosed pretty good. I actually like the way this looks. I could probably put some cool trees. Obviously this is kind of Viking themed. So let's go with like some nice temperate forest trees. I think would be pretty cool. Let's lower our size. And if we could get some nice forest trees in here. Maybe a couple up here. Maybe some small bushes as well. Actually, let's lower this a little bit more. Maybe a couple more trees to kind of finish this off. This place is absolutely epic. So let's fix these plants, these. Get rid of a couple of those, and let's fix some of these little spots. Let's decrease our size, increase our intensity. And now we can kind of just add some nice flowers all the way around this. Kind of near all of these little spots. Maybe kind of just throughout here. Make it look a little bit nicer. Maybe a couple more little flowers throughout here. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm actually going to make this a little bit taller. If I can. Oh, not that tall. Let's decrease our size and that. Yeah, let's maybe actually connect that. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, let's make this look absolutely insane. Let's make this a little bit more spacious. People might be a little bit claustrophobic going through our tunnels here. We gotta make sure it looks pretty good. And then we gotta make sure our horses, our Rohanian horses, Rohanian, is that even a word? It is now. So let's make sure those are kind of ready and visible. Let's get them in grass. Okay, that looks pretty good. I actually really like this. This ride is absolutely done. So let's test this out. See what it even looks like. This thing is absolutely, like, you enter in through here and then it just like lifts It's absolutely crazy. I love this ride. I love it already. Let's get rid of a couple of these plants. They look a little bit goofy, but let's see what this thing looks like. Oh my gosh, I love the rides. Like the sounds in these games are absolutely incredible. Love it, love it. I've been playing a lot of Planet Zoo lately. I actually like that game too. It's been a long time since I've played that, but it's definitely fun to get back into it sometimes. Jurassic World Evolution 3 coming out. If you guys missed my Jurassic World Evolution 2 video, there will be a link in the description for that, so definitely don't miss that. This is absolutely crazy. Like, I'm not getting on this thing. How is this arm strong enough? Just look at like the mechanics in this game. It's so cool. That's insane. So you're literally going up. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Okay, let's open this up. I think we could probably charge quite a bit for this. So let's go bargain pricing. Oh my gosh, $30. Priority pass could be a thing. Do we want to? I feel like we could do that. We could definitely do a priority pass going through here. Yes, we could. Okay, let's open that. Let's actually open our park now. Let's open this up. Wrong button. Open our park. Let's edit our ticket prices. So actual entry ticket prices, I guess we could just do like guests who pay for park entry expect cheaper attraction tickets. Okay, let's actually just do 0. I want to get everybody into our park that we can and then actually charge as they come into the park. This is absolutely epic. I could probably even build this up a little bit higher, but I want people to see our Hobbit house though. Now let's maybe build this up just a tiny bit higher. Just a little bit. I still want to be able to kind of go over there. Make it a little bit cooler at least. Okay, here they come. They are entering in our park, and I could probably even have something cool in the middle here, but we haven't figured that out quite yet. Oh, this is a problem. Gotta make sure I fix that. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. That's locked in there. Okay, we got our bathrooms in here. You can kind of enter in through here. I need some cool little, like, I already know what I want to put here, actually. I feel like this would be super cool right here, except it takes up a lot of space. It's the only issue. I guess, honestly, we could probably put it right there. And then I'm just gonna, like, leave the trees kind of hidden. Let's maybe just do like that. How does that look? That's something. I actually don't mind that. I'm gonna hide these trees a little bit. Just to kind of get rid of them. Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. I don't mind that. Just it kind of adds a little bit to the park. And then we have all of these. Oh, we'll have to open all of these actually. So let's open these up. Latte Love, all of these buildings we're gonna need to open. I think this is open, I'm assuming. Oh no, I have to actually open it. Let's put somebody there, and I think, is that it? It's just the one little spot there they can get stuff. Absolutely love this little food court. I think it turned out pretty nice. Bathroom is open. Open for business, and then these I will also have to open individually. I have a feeling everyone's just gonna buy from these, but I guess that's fine, just as long as we are generating revenue. And our entire little thing is open here. Let's do these as well. Okay, there we go. People can come get food. Our first little ride is here, and let's actually fix this a little bit, because I feel like this is probably gonna be a little bit toxic. Or just terrifying to walk through. So let's just make it a little less terrifying to walk through. Oh gosh, we are flipping out. Actually, I don't mind that. That looks pretty cool. We have our railings, and then here, let's just close this off. Kind of like that. Got a nice little tunnel going through there. That's actually super cool. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get our information center. Our guest services, that is definitely what we want. And this could go, they can buy their priority passes right from here. So I feel like I can maybe have this like right there. As people enter in, they can go to that. And then obviously we'll need some power over here. So let's make sure we get some power. Let's get a distributor. Let's just put this right under water. Intersecting terrain. Oh, you jerk. Let's see, does that give us power? Okay, that gives us power. Now we can open this. We can enable our priority passes, I believe. So obviously you can buy sunscreen, blue umbrellas, priority passes. These, let's actually charge like, so for sale, yes, price. Let's adjust our price for that. So priority pass. Full price? What the heck does that mean? Or do we, I feel like we adjust that actually on the ride maybe. Let's just do custom. Let's set like, oh gosh, $10. Let's just see if they'll even pay that. So let's add our priority lineup for this. Let's enable that, and then we're gonna need a little entry for this. Oh, that actually sucks. In the first game, they were able to like just like put it onto the actual path rather than on here. I guess what we could do is have them enter in through like here, and then they just like walk through here, and then they just enter on right through here. Let's maybe do that. Let's just put that there, and then let's do a priority queue. Just going like to here. Maybe, please. Or we could even kind of go like this. Like up and then down maybe. We'll set this to full load, and then I don't even know where we go to, okay, priority entrance. I guess we could just have like another separate entrance going through like right beside that, but I don't know. Is there really a spot we can do this? I guess let's just put it there, and then we could just kind of go over top here. Honestly, let's just disable our priority pass because I don't know where we're even gonna get one in here. Like, I guess I could maybe have one like come off through here. Let's actually do that. Let's just put it right here, maybe right in the trees, and then we can have our entrance kind of come off of here. Obviously, we'll have to get rid of some of those little trees, but let's get going through here, and then we can kind of just have this come out right through here. And this can kind of be our priority entrance. This, I guess we could move over a little bit. Like that. Now we got a little bit of a tree poking out through here, so let's fix that. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have our little priority pass here, our priority entrance. We'll have to get rid of a couple of these, won't we? That just makes walking difficult. Okay, that's not too bad. And then this tree... What's in the way here? Why can't I click this tree? Okay, I'm not gonna be able to move that tree, but here we have our priority pass. So now people can actually buy a priority pass. So ticket priority pass enabled. Priority queues, let's do like medium priority. They kind of just, yeah, should be fine. Let's enable our priority passes now. So let's go. Okay, we have it set to $10. I don't know what it's like. Is that good price? This ticket price is too high. Okay, $8. That goes away. Perfect. That kind of tells us. So people will now buy priority passes. I think that should be all right. Now people buy those. How many guests do we have? We have 109. Let's get some advertising going on here. So let's go. Let's do some advertising for some. Oh, we can't. Okay, we need 500 guests in our park. So let's get a few more guests. So obviously we have one ride. Let's continue this on and make it a little bit crazier in here. So let's kind of loop around. And then we can kind of just get it going through here. And kind of continue this on. We could have a nice big mountain in the middle here. Let's just increase our size as big as we can get it. And then just put a nice big mountain in here. I feel like that'd be pretty good. Make it as big as we can. And let's decrease this a little bit. Oh, maybe we want it a little bit bigger than that. And let's just make this a little bit cooler. Make it a little bit more breathable. Kind of like that. And then I could probably have something in the middle here. Like this is kind of a waste of space, so I could probably even have like indoor go-karts or something. That's gonna be an absolute nightmare to... Oh yeah, I kind of want to just do it though. Let's see if we can do it. Let's go our tracked rides, I think it is. Or this river one would be kind of cool. Let's put this like lower. Like we're still pretty... Can I put it like throughout here? I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Okay, let's just try our flat rides or tracked rides still. Or let's do custom. Let's get like a go-kart one. I feel like that would be pretty cool. So obviously this track will need like starting like here. And this is going to be pretty crazy. So this is going to be the entrance or like the actual start of the race. So I guess they could start off like just like that maybe. And then this I will kind of, let's go a little bit longer. How do we, let's go a little bit longer. Place that down. And then we'll kind of start climbing a big hill. So let's just start kind of twisting and going up. And then we can kind of go up. Let's place that. And then this part, I kind of want to just go straight up. And then maybe into the mountain and then kind of swirl. Let's maybe go back. Let's lower this a little bit. Let's lower that just a tiny bit. And now we can kind of get going up. Let's decrease our track and then start twisting maybe up to come through up here. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. So this is quite steep. Let's actually maybe increase our length. Kind of like that. And then this part I could probably start going out like this. This is absolutely insane and I get it. And let's get going up here a little bit. This is absolutely crazy. Eventually I'll have to kind of come down through here, but yeah, this is pretty insane. But I wanted to kind of ride this entire mountain. That's kind of the idea I'm looking for. And then if this could go like over top of here, like that is an attraction. So let's lower this. Maybe kind of like, let's go back to level ground. Or I guess we could maybe do that. And then let's kind of get going out this way and back. And then we could start kind of raising up. Kind of like this, a nice sharp turn. going through here. And then maybe even start descending a little bit here. And then maybe start going this way and then back to the entrance. This is definitely quite steep to end off on. So let's maybe start our descent a little bit slower. And maybe angled a little bit. Oh, I should probably start angling these as well. So let's lower this a little bit more. And then we can kind of get going this way, and we can angle this nice and flat. And then I think we should be able to just connect it back to our main track here. Let's just get that 0, and then we can kind of just connect it back. Oh, autocomplete? Okay, there we go. Perfect. Wait. Autocomplete. Okay, perfect. I think I'm happy with that. Kind of goes through here, up through here, and then down. I think that's actually super cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's properly cool. I'm gonna have to adjust some of this, like these little spots. Go to construction mode. Let's edit this piece and then see if I can kind of. Let's maybe do like this whole section. Kind of angle it a little bit like that. Just so it's a little bit better. And then through here, I'll also have to kind of angle. Kind of like that. And then here is not too bad. Probably this little section I'll have to adjust. And this whole section I will also adjust. And then here I will adjust kind of that way. And then I think we're pretty good for the most part. I think we're nice and safe. Let's do a nice little test run, and we'll need some power going to this as well. And then obviously an entrance to get to it. Let's do a test ride. Let's place an entrance. Don't tell me that I can't place an entrance over here. Oh, it has to be over here. Are you kidding me? Okay, well that is probably fine. I can have the entrance. I mean, I got a crazy idea for the entrance. Let's just get our entrance right there. And then our exit can just be right next to it. And then I'm just gonna build up a giant little mountain through here. Let's see where they're at. Here they go. Oh, green is taking the lead. Red is shortly right. Oh, this is a tight race, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely crazy coming down here. That's terrifying. I would never do this. But, I mean, it's something. Yeah, it looks like green's going to take the win. Absolutely phenomenal job, green. Let's build this up a little bit. And this will be a little bit difficult here. Let's add that back. Okay. Let's do that, and then this will be a little bit difficult. So obviously our main path will be through here, and then kind of leading back around through here. Let's have a nice big mountain there. And this will eventually have to go underneath here. So let's just kind of build this up. I don't want this to look as daunting. So let's just maybe add this just so it kind of makes it look a little less terrifying. Or petrifying, if you will, coming down this hill. Kind of like that. And then honestly, I kind of just want to connect this giant thing. Kind of like that. Had a little bit of sunlight coming through there, but yeah, honestly, that's pretty good. And I'll have to add a little bit of a mountain in here. Let's decrease our size and our intensity just a little bit increase our intensity. I don't need this to look as terrifying as it does, so just adding this little kind of mountain in the middle should kind of help with that. I think I like that. Let's kind of just build this up and then I can fix all those little parts after like this. Yeah, this is definitely quite cool. Let's fix this. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's fix these little spots. Yeah, I don't mind that. Got a nice little hill here. And then how else do I kind of want to make this look a little bit better? Obviously, this has to be somewhat hidden. I need them to kind of show up around the corner and see like, oh, go-karts. Sweet. Let's go ride some go-karts. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's fix a couple of these little spots. I think that's hidden for the most part. Let's maybe see if we can raise this up a little bit more. Just so it hides the illusion a little bit more. Okay, that's a nice little starting area actually. And then this I want to build up even a little bit taller. Again, I will fix all of this when the time comes. And that time is now. Kind of like that. And then, yeah, our entrances are going to come through here and kind of come around and then enter in through this little area. So I think I like that. Let's start on that. So let's connect an entrance to the path. This is our entrance. So obviously that'll have to be first. And this is absolutely insane. So let's maybe make sure it's flat. I think that looks fairly flat. Let's go up a little bit. And now we can kind of get this going throughout here. All the way tunneling. And then maybe like even through here. So you can kind of go under. Oh, that is so cool. And then let's just connect it back to here. I think that's quite cool. Our exit, we can kind of do the same. Ooh, why can't we do that? Let's just do a regular path here, and let's just do like size 4. And we can kind of keep the same theme. Let's keep our little extras there, and then we'll have to lower this to get to level. So I have no sweet clue where this path was, so let's kind of just get going through here. And then we can kind of just come right beside that. And then come out right next to there. I think that kind of works. We got no power going to this. We're gonna need a distributor as well. You know what could do? Where the heck is our, we have these. I'm gonna get another one of these over here. So let's flatten this out just a tiny bit. Let's just flatten this out just a little bit. That actually looked terrible anyway. So let's do this. Get our facilities, get this, and I'm just gonna get this as well. I'll just put that there, and let's get a distributor for that. So obviously we'll need some power for our go-karts. Let's just get it right underneath. Yeah, it looks fine. And this can kind of be our one for all of our little... Oh, we need a distributor over here as well. Maybe? Do I even... Do I? I don't know if I do. Sure, that works. We'll power those. Now we gotta get this going. This is pretty epic, actually. We have our entrances. I think we can open this now. And let's do bargain pricing. $18 is actually pretty good. We have 129 guests at our park. We could make that a little bit better, I suppose, with a little bit of TLC, but we will get there. Let's increase the size here just a little bit. And then I kind of want this to be the same, like as they climb up around a little mountainous area. Okay, I actually don't mind that. I think every little spot on this track should be well accessible. Let's maybe fix these little spots. This could be a little bit beefier, and then I'll kind of go underneath and fix all these little... Oh gosh, that's not good. What on earth? Okay, here's our tunnel. I found it. Now we can kind of fix this a little bit. Oh my gosh. I'll have to just kind of tunnel around this and then fix that after. Kind of like that. And then now we can kind of go underneath and fix this. How do we want to fix this? Let's decrease our size. And now we can kind of just create a little bit more space in here. Let's maybe turn on our light. Or we need our little night light here. Torch, there we go. Now we can see some stuff again. And we just need to kind of tunnel this out through here. Kind of like that. And these little open spaces. Okay, how does that look? Not horrible. It's not the best, but we definitely don't want people hitting their heads on the rocks, so I think that's decent for what we're looking for. A nice little tunnel. I actually like that. Let's add some trees onto here just to kind of make it look a little bit better. A little bit more lived in. Let's kind of just get some nice trees for shade in here. Maybe a couple trees up there if we can. A little bit of trees kind of along here. Actually, these are the wrong trees, but it doesn't look horrible. I'm just gonna add some, what are you looking for? Tropical trees in here. Kind of like that. They actually go down a little bit easier as well. Oh, that's absolutely terrible. Let's make sure we are on a line to surface. Before we do that, let's set our size a little bit smaller. And now we can add some trees in here. That looks a little bit better, I think. We can get a few up here. Kind of just a little bit of trees. And we can kind of just add some of these to fill this in. Just a tiny bit. And we kind of have this little area. Let's get a couple more trees kind of through here. Let's make this look absolutely incredible if we can. We gotta spend all this money. I feel like that should be a challenge of the video. You gotta spend all that money before the video's over. Yeah, we got some nice little trees in here now. I gotta fill this in a little bit as well. So let's kind of fill this in with a couple of trees. I feel like this is looking pretty good. Let's take a look at all of this. Oh, we got some nice little trees in here. A beautiful little track going through here. Is this puppy open? I think it should be ready to go. Yep. We could do a priority pass. It's not really much faster. But I mean, if people have to buy them, we might as well actually make them. So let's enable a priority pass for this. And we'll need an entrance for that. I could probably just get this like right off of here, honestly. That's definitely quicker. And then we will need a entrance for that. Now let's set to medium high priority. Let's go to our path. Let's go to our queue paths. And now we can kind of just get this. So let's just get this going maybe like up through here. Now let's make this kind of cool. Let's go alongside this cliff face the entire time. I feel like that would be super cool. And then we can start going down through here and then maybe just to there. That's actually quite cool. It's kind of along there. That is very high priority and that's definitely a lot quicker for them. Yeah, that's actually quite beautiful. You kind of see this nice little open spot. Let's add a nice little pond in here for them to look at. I mean, they're spending money, they may as well get their money's worth. So let's increase our thing here. And let's make this cliff face a little bit more scary to look down. I mean, they need an experience. A nice little cliff face. Going to some water in through here. Now we can kind of flatten this out just a little bit. Just like a little bit of water down through here. Just picture like a nice little Caribbean gem. That's kind of what I'm going for. A little bit of water through here. Maybe a little pirate ship or something. Let's add a little bit of water in here. Let's actually roughen this up a little bit first. Kind of like that. And then I suppose we could even close this in a little bit more as well. Let's increase our intensity. Let's close this in and make it absolutely epic. Like, I picture like Uncharted, like you're kind of just going along a giant cliff face to get to here. That's actually so cool. Then on the other side, you'd see like a little tunnel. You're like, what's that? That's kind of what I'm going for. Maybe do a nice big mountain there. Kind of like that. And then if I can, I want to push these down just a little bit more, make it a little bit deeper. And I guess I could kind of make this as deep as I want. That's actually super cool. This might be the coolest park I've ever built. Okay, now I'm gonna just kind of push these little spots back just a little bit. Just to do more of a kind of a cliff face. Kind of like that. Kind of there as well. Okay, now let's add some nice blue water in here. Actually kind of nice. Let's do a little bit higher. Actually a little bit lower. I don't mind that. And I could probably even have another little waterfall in here, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So let's grab that. And this could kind of go just like right there. And then I'll kind of just take our terrain and push this back a little bit just to reveal that. Just like that. Honestly, that's perfect. A nice little hidden gem. I'll put like little treasure things in. Let's get a boat. Let's get a nice pirate ship in here for them to kind of see. Let's just get it kind of, maybe picture one docked or kind of tipped over here. Be kind of cool. Kind of angling like that. I feel like that's pretty cool. Kind of just like in the corner like that. Oh, that is actually so cool. Maybe have like a little treasure spot up here. And I might actually get another little hidden gem in here. Actually, that's pretty cool the way it is. I don't know. I could do maybe another little boat. Maybe like one of these. Just like that. That's perfect. Let's just do that. I feel like that kind of ties us in. A nice little priority pass in here. Let's add a couple more trees in here, make it a little bit more tropical. Kind of like that. And then over here, I could get a few more. Just to really enclose this. And then obviously we could get some smaller ones. Just to add a little bit of color in here. Keep it really jungle themed. Yeah, just really fill that in. Might as well use the money we have. Let's make sure we are aligned to surface. With all of these, kind of fill this in. And in here I could get a couple more trees, why not? This one, let's maybe delete. Okay, perfect. This is a nice little spot. I'm actually going to get a couple more trees kind of around here, just to kind of close it in a little bit more. And then let's get some of these. Align them to surface, make it look a little bit better. Get rid of some of those. Okay, that is worth a priority pass, I think, to get to our go-karts. That's actually quite cool. Beautiful little nook in here, little hidden gem. Has anybody come to this yet? I don't think. I don't think they have. This is pretty far for them to come. I mean, like, you gotta walk. This is our main entrance. You gotta ride here. Actually, we're kind of hurting for guests a little bit, which is interesting. They're barely coming in. So we definitely want to attract some more people. So let's get a couple more cool rides if we can. Before we get into the rides, I just realized I have no staff, so I'm gonna get some cleaning people. Let's put a couple over there, maybe a few over here, and then who else could we get? We definitely need a mechanic to fix some stuff. Maybe a couple more vendors. We definitely have lots of vendors to be kind of swapped out of stuff. Maybe a couple of ride attendants. Few staff, security guard. We definitely need a security guard. She looks pretty tough. And then obviously we need a chief beef. Where's chief beef? Let's put him right in front of chief beef. Let's get people in there. And then we could probably get our queen splash. We definitely need our queen splash right in the middle. And probably, where's that Viking guy? Let's put him to kind of be able to tell people that this is what they're going into. So that should be pretty good for staff. Let's get a couple of garbage cans kind of throughout our park here. Maybe, yeah, let's start with our garbage cans. Let's go with this. As soon as people walk in, we should get one like right there. Maybe one right there. Either side of that. And right there. Let's just kind of put these kind of periodically through our park. Okay, we have garbage cans throughout here, so let's kind of just put some throughout here. As you kind of walk around, and this actually looks so cool. I love this. It's like sometimes I come back the next day after recording. I'm like, wow, good job. Good job yesterday, me. Okay, that's pretty good. That gets us to the end of our kind of park right now. Obviously, we can fix it a little bit. This is actually looking pretty cool. I love this little go-kart track going around. Let's put some benches next to all of those. So just quickly throw some benches in here. Let's get a couple of benches. Maybe some over here as well. Definitely need some places for people to sit. Maybe a bench or two in here, just to kind of help it out. Oh, stuck in that tree again. Okay, that should be pretty decent. Hopefully we can get some people coming to our park. We definitely need more guests. And I guess we could see if we could make things a little bit better. So unique to attractions is a little bit low. Attraction prestige could be better. So that'll kind of go up over time. But guest experience are all 5 stars. So I mean, it should be pretty good. We got lots of amenities. Bathrooms I could probably put in some places. Park finances. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going down. We haven't really gone up yet, but that should kind of fix itself pretty soon here. I have a bathroom in here. I probably need a bathroom a little bit closer to like this general area. So I'm actually going to dig into our mountain here. Maybe right where this kind of is. So let's just quickly dig in a little spot just for a bathroom. And let's just throw one in. There we go, we got some toilets here. So let's just get like, we got a tropical bathroom here. This is actually pretty cool. You got change rooms and stuff. This I could put right there and kind of just build around it. So we got bathrooms, got some change rooms. That's actually pretty good. And let's build this in again over top of it. Looks like it's kind of forcing it out, but it's pretty well integrated. I don't mind that. You know what I wouldn't mind? I wouldn't mind like a path kind of coming from here through here to this side. I feel like that would be a pretty good idea. At least tunneled anyway, so let's do that. I guess this could be maybe a little bit smaller. Let's just go like size 10, I guess. Might be fine. And this, I kind of want to just start this way. And let's just kind of tunnel under the mountain here. And then just connect right to there. I think that should be pretty good. And then we could possibly fix this a little bit. So let's go underneath into the depths of the earth. And let's push this. Let's adjust our size. And we should be able to kind of finagle this a little bit. Make it a little less claustrophobic. And we'll probably need some lights in here actually. So we'll probably get some of those. Let's turn on our torch. There we go. Now we can actually see what we're doing. Oh, opening up a little bit too much over here. Okay, how's that looking? So kind of a little hole here. I'm actually going to fill this in though. Just fill that in just a tiny bit. I think that looks pretty good still. Maybe here, let's fill it in and I'll start pushing all this back. And start opening it up. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I definitely don't mind that. Let's make sure this isn't as sharp of an edge. Make it look a little bit better. So now we're connected to here, which is perfect. Kind of go to the entrance of this. And that should really help kind of spreading out our guests. We definitely need some better rides though. So let's see if we can make this. So this is bargain. I mean, I don't think people are really complaining, are they? Are they complaining? Really excited to go on Collider. Made me happy. Okay, so people are pretty happy with it. We just need some better rides, I think. Full load. Let's make sure we are on full load for everything here. Or I guess not necessarily, because this... Yeah, nobody's really over here to take advantage of that yet. Okay, we need a couple cooler rides here, so let's continue on our path here. So let's go size 12. Come right off of there. And honestly, I'm just gonna kind of circle around back this way. And then start going. Where can I go? Like I could maybe come back somehow. Let's get a couple of rides in here. And then I could also kind of branch off and go this way. Potentially. Let's start with this. Let's get like a cool roller coaster in here. This is kind of the cool part. We need like a really cool or good roller coaster over here to get people on this side of the park. Otherwise, they're never going to come to our go-karts or anything over here. I could maybe get a bathroom right here, maybe. What do I want to get? Maybe a Dunkin' Donuts. That'd be kind of cool. You turn the corner and oh, boom, another surprise. Dunkin' Donuts. So let's get that right there. How does that look? Not great. Could look a little bit better, but yeah, we have our Dunkin' Donuts nonetheless. Let's see if we can brush this in. And this spot is a little bit messed up. How would we fix that? I don't even know how to... Oh yeah, I guess that kind of works. Okay, we got that kind of figured out. And then this part, I think I might also connect back to here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, that looks really good. I could maybe put a couple of trees in here just to kind of help it a little bit. Let's do our palm trees. Adjust our size a little bit. I could maybe get a few trees along here. Might as well put some palm trees all the way around this puppy. Just kind of close it in a little bit, and then let's get some of these smaller ones in here. Kind of fill in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Okay, that should be pretty good. We need some power over here. So where was our power? So we have this one. Let's get a new distributor. And this one I will put maybe like right there underground. And then we can kind of spread out in this whole area. So this is open. Let's make sure we go in here and open this place up. We got a couple little spots. Latte love. Obviously it's not just Dunkin' Donuts. Do you think it was? I didn't think you were. Or I don't think you did. Okay, that's good. Coffee and more. So that's lovely. Dunkin' Donuts over there. That'll get some people over there. And yeah, like I said, we need a nice big roller coaster over here. So let's see what we can get. I think this might be a pretty good spot to have like this is pretty long. This would definitely get some people. We could also get our poltergeist one. Yeah, this looks pretty epic actually. Kind of right on the corner. Where do people enter in? Kind of just wherever, I guess, eh? Let's see this. Where do people enter in? Yeah, through here. Okay. Yeah. So let's fix that. Let's get it again. And yeah, this we could just put like right on the edge here. And kind of have this castle kind of like this. Let's see if we can adjust this just a tiny bit. See, it doesn't like that. Let's see if we can push it this way a little bit. Actually, we probably could raise this up just a little bit and then just have a little staircase going from here. I don't mind that. This should be fine. I don't know if anybody can really jump up and mess with that. Let's maybe move it back just a tiny bit just in case. Other than that, I think that looks pretty good. Like it's pretty well integrated in here. I'll have to move that tree, obviously. Let's lock that in. Let's get rid of this tree as promised. And then we can kind of fill it in a little bit as we go. So let's get our path. And this we can just kind of connect right up to there. What size is this? I think it's like a 4. Just kind of get that little ramp, if you will. And we'll also get our... let's add our railing in here. Let's kind of stamp that in. I think we have the wrong one though. Let's make sure we have the right railing. Okay, there we go. That should be pretty good. And honestly, we probably have a railing on this side too, but let's leave that for now. We have our poltergeist ride. Let's get this tested and ready to go. And let's set our pricing. Let's speed it up until we get this kind of taken care of. This thing is absolutely epic. This is one of my favorite rides. People come through here. It goes all the way up and then it rolls down. Oh, it's so cool. Such a cool ride. Whoever did this, A+. Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal job. Let's open it up. Set it to bargain pricing. $32 is actually pretty good. And prestige is really good. Let's set it to full load. And hopefully we can get some good riders coming this way. So let's slow it down again. We have 234 guests. How do we want to get that up? Like, or guest prestige, all that stuff is good. Advertising. Yeah, we need 500 guests before we do any advertising. So hopefully we can get some stars up. And then I think right next to this, I want to get like another really cool roller coaster. So let's do like, I've always wanted to get this. This thing's just absolutely insane. And I guess I could kind of fix the path. Let's just fix this path really quick. I'm just going to remove a few of these. And just get going to like here. And then I'll just straighten this out a little bit. Kind of like that. I want just like insane attractions over here. So let's get this. I have never gotten this before, so I'm actually quite curious to... Oh, this is absolutely insane. Okay, so let's kind of tuck this in as close as we can. And I suppose I could put it a little bit further back. And I always like to have my staircases like go up to it. So let's just put that there. How does that look? This is already kind of coming down. I could probably move this back a little bit, but I mean, it's not horrible. Let's set this to... Is this like size 9? I think that is size 9. And we got some staircases right there, so that's perfect. That will definitely work. Aside from everything being floating. So I will have to redo this quickly. Okay, I think that should work. Are we good over here? I think we are. So let's slap that down. And now we can grab this and finagle that. So that's perfect. Nice little path. Let's maybe get a railing over here. Let's just add in maybe like just a nice little one. Make it look as spooky as we can. Yeah, this thing's insane. Like, you literally enter through here. This is the beginning of the ride. Are there any, like, staff only? We got bathrooms in here. What else is in here? This is where you actually enter the ride. This is so crazy. I love this. Okay, this is definitely cool. We'll have to ride this later in the video. Oh my gosh, entrance. I'm actually gonna ride this right now. Let's do a test ride and let's hop in. Oh my gosh. This is so crazy. How do I? Yeah, let's hide the panels. Oh yeah. This is so crazy. I can't believe people make this stuff. Like the gate, look at that gate. I just love that gate. What planets do we have with a sword? Oh my gosh, where's this even go? Oh, we're going backwards now. Oh my gosh, we're actually going pretty quick now. Okay, so most of this entire ride is backwards, and then it flips to forwards. Going through some trees, that's my bad. I'll have to fix that. Oh my gosh. Are you guys getting sick? I'm getting sick. This is absolutely insane. I would ride this for sure. It's absolutely crazy. I want to get a different camera. Or cinematic. Oh, that was literally the end of it. Where are we going? Oh, we're going down now? What? Whoa, I messed it up. No! Oh my gosh. That's absolutely crazy. But yeah, that ride is absolutely insane. We're gonna need some power over here. So we have one there. How are we doing for power over here? I think we do still have some. So let's add a distributor over here. And this, I guess, could just go like into the pits of the earth. And then I guess we could connect that. So let's go to facilities and custom. And let's connect this. I guess we could just connect it to there or have its own power. I don't know, because then it'll kind of, yeah, I guess that's fine. That will give us power. Now, I think we could probably open this, and this should probably charge a pretty penny. Never mind, $10. I guess that's something. That definitely works, I suppose. So hopefully these rides will definitely get some guests. I'm hoping. We have burned through a lot of money, which is insane. But hopefully we can get some guests over here. Yeah, people are coming over, which is nice. I think I want to add some more like big rocks in here, maybe. Kind of some little hilly spots. Let's increase our intensity. Kind of just separate these rides a little bit. Kind of just build up a nice little hill here. And then I'll probably add some trees in here. I don't want to hide this stuff too much. Actually, let's get rid of all those and let's make sure we are aligned to surface. We can get a couple more trees out in front. We are in a tropical climate after all. I think that should be pretty good. And then let's go into this ride if we can. How do I get back in there? There's a tree kind of stuck in there. I'm just going to leave it for now. I think they should be fine. Oh my gosh, like the steam. Oh, there's our tree. Let's get rid of that tree. And then in here we also have a tree. Let's get rid of that one. Oh my gosh, like look at this. That's absolutely insane. Love it. Okay, our guests are rising, which is nice. This would be kind of cool to go alongside the pond and have like a little thing. And maybe kind of connect back this way. How else do we want to do this? Let's get some... I'd kind of like to have a path kind of going alongside Dunkin' Donuts, honestly. Let's just delete all of these. And then if I could have a path kind of going just alongside this, that would be pretty clutch. So I'm just going to take this and go kind of along here. And I don't know where I really want it to connect to, but I kind of want to have like another secret little hidden gem back here, kind of around these rocks. I'm thinking like a Viking upswing or something. So let's just take this and let's go maybe size 8. And we'll just kind of go alongside here. And then maybe kind of around here. And it would be kind of cool if they could go like around these to see this. Obviously this is very, like just the staff should be able to see this. That's such a cool building. So I don't want them to be able to go like all the way out there, but if they could come like, maybe just like through here. Actually, let's maybe go back one and like kind of wrap around this maybe. And then I could kind of fill this in. This is definitely pretty cool. I want them to be able to see this. I kind of imagining a nice little pond in here. So let's get one of those. Kind of just like a nice size pond for them to kind of enjoy on this side. Kind of like a moat is kind of what I'm thinking of this castle. Maybe going out to like here. Something like that. Then I can get some water in here. Let's roughen this up just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And then yeah, let's get some water in here. I feel like that looks pretty good. I like that. And then we could probably put like something in here, I suppose. But let's get some trees and kind of finish off this little spot. So let's actually get rid of our water. And then I want to build up pretty high up through here. Just to kind of finish off this little spot. I'll build this mountain into there. Kind of like that. I actually don't mind that. Let's maybe push this back just a little bit. Just to get some more cliff bases. Yeah, I don't mind that. That's pretty good. You kind of get going right to that tree. Perfect. Let's push this back just a little bit. And then we can throw our water in here again. We want to go a little bit higher. I think that should be pretty good. Just a nice little pond in here for them to enjoy. And then I'm going to get some railings in here as well. So let's paint in some railings. Starting here. Actually, I don't like those ones. Let's get this one. Kind of like that. And then we can continue this on. I'd like to get some other kind of park. Let's take a grand scheme of the, or look at this. We have this kind of going through here. This is definitely looking pretty good. We're kind of using as much space as we can right now. This is actually pretty cool. Going through here. I think this flows pretty good. A nice big food cart. But we actually profited a little bit today. Nice big food court, sorry. We got our track through here. I think this is pretty good. This is kind of hidden. I want to keep more stuff kind of hidden over here. If I can. This looks a little bit goofy over here. So we can actually continue on this side. And we could also put something over here. I kind of want to put like something cool over here. Like we have this temple of oh my Lanta. So this would probably go well over here. I'm assuming. Where's the entrance? Okay, the entrance is right here. Let's just put this like right next to here. And then we can kind of get this down on the ground. Kind of just like that. I kind of love that, to be honest. Let's lock that in. We're gonna need some power for that, obviously. So let's grab this and go just kind of along there. Or what we could do is let's actually demolish this and go back just a little bit. Back to the drawing board. Let's just grab this and kind of just go alongside here. Kind of like that, maybe. We can kind of hug the mountainside here, and then we can probably do some other cool little decorations in front here. Let's grab our path, this little path, and let's just bring this out. We should have a long enough line up through here. Yeah, it goes all the way through there. So this, I'm honestly just gonna kind of just go up here, and then I could maybe do one more, because this is gonna be a pretty hot commodity here, I would imagine. And then we could kind of just get going straight back. As far as our exit, this can kind of just go straight back, probably. Just like right there, maybe. And then I could probably put something cool in the middle here. Let's get like some kind of scenery. Let's go to blueprints. And is there anything like kind of... I probably need something kind of Viking themed. Or another Hobbit hole, maybe. Lots of Hobbit holes here. Like, I feel like this would be cool. That's pretty epic, to be honest. So let's just put this, like, right out in the front. Right there. I think that should be pretty good. And then over here, I could probably have something cool as well. Or I'd like to maybe integrate it into here a little bit better, maybe. Let's maybe put this kind of like this, maybe tucked in there. And then I'll probably have to lower this just a tiny bit. Kind of like that. And then let's get rid of some of this terrain. Just to kind of free this up a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm kind of going to build around it if I can. Build up through here. Kind of like that. I don't know. It's not too bad. Let's fix a couple of these little spots. And kind of just add in a little bit more of a mountain side here. And let's get a couple of trees in here. A couple of tropical trees maybe behind here. And maybe a couple up here. Kind of fills it in just a little bit. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Then we got this thing. That's actually pretty sweet. That kind of fits in a little bit better. We're going to need some power to this. So let's do some test runs while we're doing that. And I guess we could just get a distributor here. And just put it right underground. And then we can grab some power to that and add it to that. I think that should be good. Oh, actually, no. We might need power to go all the way back to there. Does that power that? It doesn't. Okay, I might have to add more power from this one. Okay, that gets us powered. We're probably running out of power here, actually. So let's check this. That's out of power, and that is close to out of power. So let's get another one. Yeah, I guess we'll just dig into this as well. Let's make room for a couple more of these. Let's get a couple more of these. Definitely spending a lot of money on these things, but I think they'll be quite worth it in the long run. Okay, we got some power for those. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know. This should be fine. We'll get a couple more distributors. We have this thing over here, which is absolutely insane. I need something else. I'm kind of, let's just do like a nice big cliff here to kind of fill this in. I kind of want just like all of this hidden a little bit. Kind of like that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see here. We can get this looking pretty good. And then maybe kind of wrapping around here. Like I kind of want to keep my mountainous theme. Let's maybe build this up a little bit taller. I kind of enter the mountains again. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I could come back and connect to here. And then it would kind of have a purpose. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of doing that. Let's actually do that. Let's get this and go this way. And then we can kind of start going all the way back here. I follow the cliff face and then I'm just going to get going right back to there. How does that look? I think that looks pretty good. And now we have some more paths to kind of go around there. I kind of want to add another little pond in here actually. So let's dig this down a tiny bit. And kind of just add a tiny little space for a pond. Just like a nice little cozy place. I love these little hidden gems, kind of like Uncharted. Kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, I think that should be pretty good. We'll push that back in a little bit and let's get some water in here. Now, actually, let's roughen this up just a tiny bit. Just a little bit. Add some water in here. Let's go maybe right there. How does that look? Pretty good. And then let's add, oh, this would be a perfect little spot for another Hobbit hole actually. So let's do that. Let's push this in a tiny bit. Now, I want to get it kind of level with this. So where's our Hobbit holes again? I think they were kind of at the start. Yeah, they're kind of right here. Let's get like, this one's pretty well integrated. I think this one should look pretty cool in here. So this I'll actually put like right in here. Kind of like that. I feel like that's a nice height. I can maybe go a little bit higher. Let's see, let's get level with this. Yeah, that's actually a nice little height. Let's do that and then I can kind of fix this. Let's see if we can make this look a little bit better. Give it some purpose. Build around it a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take this and flatten this little area out just to give it a little bit more here. This thing has music too. That's actually kind of cool. That's quite the little steep drop off there. Let's raise this up just a tiny bit. Yeah, that should be better. Nice little step there. That's absolutely perfect. Got our second little Hobbit hole in there. I'm just gonna add in our water and I think call this little spot done. Oh gosh. We're stuck in the water. Sorry about that, camera. Okay, that looks pretty good. I don't mind that. And then we'll add a railing in here. Let's do our brush and then we can kind of paint in a nice little railing. Says that spot is obstructed by what? I need a railing there. Are you kidding me? What the heck are the birds or something? Okay, this is obstructed for some reason. Interesting. Well, I guess we're just getting a railing there. They'll just have to get a nice little viewing spot going there, I guess. What we could do, I guess, is like no, I guess we'll just leave that. That kind of sucks. I don't know. Is there any way I can fix that? Let's push this back a little bit, maybe. So this obstructed. Weird. Well, that sucks. Okay, let's leave that. We got our second little Hobbit hole there. And we are connected back to this path. Let's fix this. If we can. This looks a little bit janky, so let's push this back a little bit. Kind of clean up this little spot. Just make it look a little bit better. Okay, how does that look? Probably fix some of this stuff too. Yeah, it's not horrible. And I need to add some more paths in here. So while I'm here, let's duplicate a couple of these and get some of these going through here. Oh, I need to fix this as well. Oh gosh. That's terrible. Make it a little bit more breathable. Kind of like that. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And now let's get some benches through here. I think we could have a bench somewhere. Let's duplicate this. Start putting that in some spots. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's looking a little bit better. I'm gonna need some paths throughout here as well. What the heck happened? Okay, that was just glitched out. Thankfully. I'm gonna... Oh, this is kind of in a weird spot. Let's move that and let's get a few more of these. Kind of throw it here. If I put a garbage here, that might kind of get rid of people from jumping into the water. Get a couple of garbage cans throughout here just to kind of keep the place nice and clean. And we need to kind of tie the rest of this park in with the rest of the park, if we can. Go to custom, grab some benches. We can kind of put some of these in here. I think this looks pretty good. Gotta keep our janitors happy. If they put them in the garbage, all they have to do is get rid of the garbages rather than picking it all up. Yeah, I think that should be pretty good. We got our second little hobbit hole over here. I need to do something over here. So this, I would love to kind of integrate into, I don't know. I could have another little ride over here maybe to kind of just finish off this side. Actually, what I might do is let's build up like huge little mountainside over here, but I'm gonna get a flat ride, and then what I kind of want to do is like do a Viking upswing with a moat around it. We have this mythology one, which is pretty good. I could get maybe even this thing. This would also be pretty cool to have like some water around it. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's put it like right in here. Let's put it like right there. And then we can have an entrance through here. Let's connect this. Actually, before we do that, let's kind of just build up our terrain around it. So let's get as big as we can. And let's kind of just enclose this, and then I want some water all the way around it. Make it nice and big. Okay. And then over here, let's start digging down. And I guess we could probably keep it fairly shallow water. But I definitely want it to look pretty intense. So let's just do this, and then I'd like our paths to kind of go around the water. So let's just get this all the way completely isolated. Kind of like that. That's kind of looking pretty good. Now if we can build this up even higher, that'd be nice. So let's go even a little bit higher here. A little bit higher over here. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then let's see if we can fix these little cliff faces. Let's lower our size to maybe like a 12. And then we kind of need to figure out a spot for our entrance and exit to go. But I think this should kind of work out. Kind of like that. Of course, our garbages are getting in the way. Or is that our path that's in the way? That's kind of weird. I guess that's fine. I'll just leave that. I guess we'll just kind of do something like that. Okay. Let's roughen up our ground here a little bit, just to make it a little bit more rough on the ground. Rough around the edges. Okay, that should be good. And now let's... I don't know if we want to do this first. I guess we could do this first. Let's take this. So our entrance, we're gonna have to do a couple little squiggly lines here. So let's make sure we have the right thing. So we are in all that. That should be good. Definitely add rails. Add supports. Yeah, that should all work out. So let's raise up. Now let's make sure we are nice and level. So let's kind of just get going this way. And I'm just going to do like a squiggly line kind of going around here. I want people to be able to see. Are we not high enough? I'm kind of entering through there. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. I love that. And then I could get some water here. So obviously we'll need an exit. So let's get a path for that. Just a regular old exit. And kind of add this in like this and kind of follow the cliff face. Kind of like this. Yeah, let's kind of do that. I think that should work out pretty good. And they can kind of see all of this in its glory. That's absolutely incredible. Okay, let's add our water. How high do we want to go? I feel like that should be pretty good. This is completely just water. Is there anything else we can maybe do to make it a little bit cooler? Maybe even just go a little bit lower. Like this needs to have like some sort of thing to hold on to. So let's build this up just a tiny bit. Lower intensity just a touch. And then we can kind of just do something with this. Like I don't want it all to be... Like I could do some kind of little statue in here maybe. Let's maybe grab this and kind of flatten out this little area. Just to put like a statue there, I think that would be pretty cool. And let's kind of just fix the rest of this. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's maybe lower a couple of these spots. Just so it doesn't look as bad as it does. And then I want this to be completely visible. And then yeah, I want to put some kind of statue here. So let's see what we have for those. Something Viking themed would be ideal. Or even like this thing would be pretty sweet here. Or maybe even like put this back in here. I don't mind that. Let's maybe adjust the height of it a little bit. Honestly, I kind of just love where that is. Let's put that in. And then I'm just going to kind of fix this a little bit. Let's raise this up. Just so the actual architecture makes sense. Yeah, that's actually super cool. Lower that. Okay, that is good. If we can put some water in there. And then, yeah, I kind of want another little statue in here. Of some sort. Like I could do... That's a little bit intense. This is pretty cool, maybe. Or this could even go like over here. As you're exiting. Potentially. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe lower it just a little bit. And they bring it forward just a touch. Let's see what that looks like. And now we can kind of build up with that. Fill that little spot in. And these are the little touches that make the world of difference. Kind of like that. And then I could build this up even higher here, I think. Kind of like that. And then I kind of want to build this up even higher. Get it a little bit more intense. Okay, that's not too bad. This is a little bit lame, this spot. So let's build this up a little bit more. I want it to be like completely enclosed and intense. Yeah, like that. Let's push this back a little bit just so our trees are kind of poking through. Yeah, just like that. I think that should be good. And then up here, I could probably put something cool as well. I mean, let's get like this shrine or something. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I definitely don't mind that. Let's fix this. A couple these little spots, and let's lower our size just a tiny bit. Because if not, we are running into some trouble. And let's lower our intensity just a little bit. Let's make sure this is all nicely integrated. Okay, I think that should work. That looks pretty good, I'd say. I'm gonna build this up just a little bit higher. Kind of like that, and then I could add some trees behind that. I think that looks pretty good. I actually don't mind this at all, and then I still want to put something here. But before we do that, I guess we could... Let's just put something. I don't really know, like... Something? I don't know. A boat of some sort? Kind of docked. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's lower this. Now I'm just gonna have a boat kind of just leaning up against the size of this, or side of it, if I can. So let's grab this little ship and kind of just have it right there, and then I'll kind of just tip it over a little bit. Just so it's sort of leaning up against there. And then we can kind of see how much we want to fill this up. Let's see. Like we could fill it like that, and then it kind of shows a little bit more. I actually like that. That looks really good. Definitely a lot of water. That definitely looks pretty good. I need some power to this somewhere. Honestly, these mountains need to be even bigger, I think. They gotta be bigger, I'm sorry. I need them to be like absolutely insane. And maybe a taller spot there. And just make it absolutely crazy. Let's push some of these back a little bit. So obviously that hid all of that. Like, yeah, I just need to fix some of these spots. This actually might be a little bit tall. Let's maybe push some of this back a little bit. Make it a little bit more spacious in here. Okay, that's not horrible. It's pretty cool in here. Obviously, you got a nice little hobbit hole there. There's definitely a lot of water, and I need to add some railings in here quickly. So let's do that before we forget. Okay, perfect. That's nice and railed off. So maybe do that as well. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm actually happy with this. Let's test it out. And let's get some power over here. So let's get to our facilities. Let's just do custom and get a distributor. And this, I guess we could just get... We want a little bit more power over here, but let's just go like kind of just into the mountain there. And then it could all come back to there. Brand new power going to there, so that's nice. And then we should be able to open this up. This I kind of want to bring up a little bit higher. Just so it's not in the water. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I'm actually going to get rid of our water for a quick second. I want to build up a little bit more terrain in here. And then maybe lift my boat up just a tiny bit. How does that look? Yeah, that's a little bit better. And then I want to lift up our terrain just a tiny bit more. Kind of just around it. And make it look like it's been here for thousands of years. Kind of what I'm looking for. So let's see what that looks like. Put some water in here again. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And now I kind of just want to paint it in a tiny bit. That's what it needs. We just need more like grass in here. Like I feel like this is just too much water. So let's just build up a little bit more terrain. Just kind of around here. Just so I can get some like trees behind it or something. Kind of like that. Maybe a little bit more in front. Kind of like that. And then we can roughen this up a tiny bit. And then if I can, I'd like to paint this a better color. Let's fix that a little bit. And yeah, let's kind of just roughen this up. And that kind of just gives us a place to put some trees. Let's get some trees here. One's a little bit too big. I don't think that gets in the way. Yeah, it's definitely kind of just nice. Like that's kind of just what we're missing. We're just missing some like nice little trees in here potentially. Let's do that, and let's move this one maybe over here and maybe just down a tiny bit. Kind of like that. Let's see how that looks now. This tree looks a little bit dumb. Yeah, let's kind of just roll with that. Let's throw in some water and call it done. Be a little bit high there. Let's do like that. I think that's pretty good. Got some trees back here. Actually, I changed on my one last time. I want another Hobbit hole in here. Let's get this one. We haven't had this one yet. Let's just throw that in right there. And then we can grab our terrain tool and kind of just flatten this out a little bit. Kind of like that. I don't know if that's not high enough or what. I guess we'll kind of find out. These trees are like floating. Oh, I guess they're fine. Okay, we got our Hobbit hole in here. Let's add a little bit of rocks in here maybe. Like some large ones. Let's decrease our size. Kind of just fill this in a little bit. Like that. I don't know. Let's just leave that maybe. And then maybe a couple of trees in here as well. Actually, let's just leave that. That should be fine. Let's add some water in here now. Kind of see what this looks like. I think that looks pretty good. That's not bad. It's definitely a lot of water in here. And I could probably put like a boat or something in here to fill it in. Yeah, let's get like a nice big boat. Right there. That's perfect. That kind of fills it in nicely. Kind of finishes off our aesthetic. So let's open this right up. Set it to bargain pricing, $21.73. That's actually not too bad. And let's put it to full load. Hopefully that brings in quite a bit of guests here. It's kind of what we're hoping for, but yeah, people are coming this way. Let's see, any takers? No takers yet. What I can maybe do alongside here, like I could have another little ride over here maybe. Let's just get like something cool if we can. Teacups. Do we want teacups? No, I don't think we want teacups. Axe Swerver, a Viking upswing would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Let's maybe just put this kind of back here, kind of tucked in to there. I think that looks pretty good. And let's get a distributor here and tuck this all the way underneath there. Perfect. We now have power. Let's get this tested out, and then we could also open it. So let's go. This is our in path, so let's just do like a nice little squiggly line going up here. And then start going this way. And then back this way a little bit. Kind of like that. That's not too bad. And then we'll need an out path, obviously. So let's just do something simple here. Something with railings. Then we can kind of connect back to there. Okay, that should be fine. We can now open this up. Let's do bargain pricing, obviously, and let's do a full load. And then we can kind of just build a nice little mountain around this. Just kind of fill it in a little bit more. So let's increase our size. And I still want the people to see like this pond, so I'm just gonna leave that little area. But as far as like around it, I want it to be pretty tight in here. Let's build this up a little bit. And actually this would be pretty cool if I had it like in tunnels. Like this whole spot, and then here I'll lower it a little bit. Kind of like that maybe? I don't know. So I take this and flatten this out a little bit more. Kinda like that. I don't hate it. I mean, it probably could be a little bit cooler. We got a nice little path here. They'll open up through here. I'll fix a couple of these little spots. Like just like these. Let's make sure that's a nice strong foundation. Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't mind that. Nice little tunnel going through there, and then something could go in here as well. So let's just do like kind of like a little hill to separate that. Something like that. I want to keep this like all nice and enclosed if we can. I feel like that's pretty cool. Okay, guests should be arriving soon. I don't know when. It's just too big of a park. Like we don't have enough people to kind of fill out this entire park. Where is everyone? Let's go look at our heat maps. Guest tolerance. Where is, okay, guest experience. Lots of people over here. There's a lot of green, not a whole lot of red. We can look at mood. Entertainment is pretty good. Hunger is decent. These people are pretty hungry. Are they stuck? What are they even doing over here? Oh, these people are like trapped. Oh my gosh. Well, that's not good. How the heck did you get in there? That's a little bit insane. Well, I can't help you then. Actually, That's in like here, I think. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a problem. We need to fix this. Oh, that's absolutely horrible. Okay, let's fix this. And then this we need to fix as well. How did I screw that up? I just assumed it would like kind of just work. I don't know. Other people are definitely stuck for life now. Yeah, they're quite hungry. Let's grab this and move this way. Kind of just go through the mountain here. Kind of like, I don't know. Let's just go like right out. I don't know. That way. And then connect back to there maybe. And then we can just delete this part. And that should kind of be fixed potentially. How does that look? It's not completely awful. Honestly, I'm just going to leave it because I don't know if we'll be able to really fix this, but yeah, I think that should work now. They should be able to kind of traverse through here. I could probably fix this a little bit too. Now let's just take this and we can just kind of move this through here now. Okay, that should be a little bit better. We'll definitely have to fix some of these tunnels, but that should work. There we go. Now they can actually move. That's actually pretty cool. Once you get through here, it's actually really cool. Okay, I don't think anything else intersects, so we should be okay. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now we should be... Yeah, people are on the go-karts. They're kind of just waiting for more people, I'm assuming. Let's just, any load. Let's set that. So then they can kind of just race whenever people come. Okay, that should be a little bit better. Let's take our terrain tool now and fix some of that shenanigans. Oh, this is broken down. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's get a staff. Remember, let's get a mechanic. Can we not fix this? Ride broken down, mechanic en route. Yeah, here they come. Let's get a few more mechanics. Just so I can really take care of this place. Kind of like that. So somebody should be able to go fix that now. Oh my gosh, that was a nightmare. Okay, let's see if we can fix this. So it kind of comes through here. Where the heck does this? Comes out through there. We just need to fix this little area. That little spot. Okay, just like that. Should be a little bit better. And then over here, I could probably have like another little food court. Like, let's just kind of close it off with maybe a cool little food court or something. Like, this would kind of be perfect, honestly. Let's just build this, like, kind of right along the trees like that. I think that should look pretty good. And I'll just connect that to there. That should be fine. And then we also need some power to that. Okay, there we go. Now we got power to that. And we should be able to open these up. We got Viva, Pizza Pen, looking good, GP. Couple little drink places. Gotta love your latte love. Okay, that's good. Now we have that, and I'm just gonna get like a couple of trees around here maybe. Just to kind of fill in this area. And maybe kind of back here as well. Cover our generator there. Kind of like that. Got a nice little pond here, which is pretty cool. Yeah, people should be able to come buy some stuff, and I'm just gonna leave this. Yeah, let's maybe fill it in a little bit. Maybe get rid of a couple of these trees. And then it'll kind of just open up into that. Okay, that should be fine. Nice little open area for some grass play or something. I guess I could bring this in a little bit more, but I'm just going to leave it. I think it's fine. People are coming over here now. We're definitely getting a lot more guests. Now I think we could probably do some advertising, couldn't we? Now we can do some advertising. Perfect. So awareness for our flat rides could definitely be better. Let's just do maximize. Okay, yeah, let's do that first. And then water slide enthusiasts. We don't have any water park stuff yet. I guess we could do something maybe like over here. Or is there a better spot? Like we have this spot over here, but that's like, I mean, it's like kind of right here. So it's kind of close to our entrance. This might be a good little spot for a water park. Mic check, testing, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna get a nice little water park throughout here. Let's increase our size to 10, I believe it was, or maybe 9. And this, I'm just gonna go this way, and then I can kind of have some stuff on either side of this. There's some good shade over here, so I think it might be a good spot for a water park. And then I can kind of fill it in like through here maybe. And then kind of have it connect up back to there. This could be like a nice big pool area. I'll maybe put some other trees in here as well, but let's just get rid of a couple of these for now. Okay, that should be good. Let's connect this back up. Okay, now I can add some stuff in the middle. So let's just do like some trees in the middle. Like a nice little something like that. Maybe get some over out here. And then I'll need to connect this. What size is that? 6? I think it's size 5. Now let's just connect this kind of just like that. And then I can get a couple more trees in here. Let's just do like a few there. And then maybe fill it in here a little bit. Let's get rid of that tree. And then yeah, I could maybe have like 2 pools over here. I feel like that would look pretty good. Or what I could do is fill in this whole area with all of this stuff. Let's just kind of draw this in. Like I'm just gonna start here. And I'm just gonna draw in a huge area right in the middle of this. Kind of like that. That's perfect. I can fix a couple of these little spots. Like let's maybe just grab this, move that really quick. Fix a couple of these. Okay, that's good. Fix these ones. And then this last little bit. Okay, perfect. That should be pretty good. We got some trees in here. Obviously, this is less than ideal, and I don't know how to even fix this now. Let's maybe just delete these trees really quick. And I might be able to throw them in somewhere else. Like I could probably get some trees in here. That's actually not too bad. And then I could probably put some trees We want tropical. Just fill in this little area. And then some smaller ones as well. So let's just decrease our size. And I can kind of fill in this whole area. Kind of like that. Kind of jungly. Doesn't look too bad. I don't love these plants, but I guess it's fine. Let's fix it a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, I don't mind that. Nice little area for that. And then let's get some pools in here. Let's go our pools and let's do a custom pool. And this one I will probably just draw in. So let's just do that. Infinity path. I guess we could just do an infinity one because then it'll make its own little one. So let's do swimming depth, diving depth, shallow. Let's do swimming. Just kind of somewhere for people to cool off. So let's just start here. We can kind of just get going around here. And then maybe up here a little bit. And kind of just finish off like that. I don't love this little spot, so I could probably fix that. Let's grab this and drag this way. Let's just kind of drag it out a little bit, just to get a little bit more space there so people can walk through. Got our first little pool there. And then I'd like to get another pool over here. Let's do a custom pool. And then kind of just do the same thing. So let's just roll up this way. And let's just leave a little bit more room for ourselves on the edges. Yeah, just like that. That's perfect. Couple little pools, and then we could get some water slides in here as well. Like we could probably get something. Let's just get like a couple of flumes. See if we can plop something in here. Like this would be pretty cool into here. Let's take up as little room as we can. Like I think that should kind of work. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's test this out. Test that ride, and these trees are in the way. Just get rid of a couple of them. Okay, that's a little bit better. And then I still want to fill this in, but I just want it to be a little bit better than that. So I think that should work. Yeah, that's perfect. People should be able to be fine with that. And then we need some water filtration over here as well. So let's have something of the sorts. Facilities, let's have some sort of water filtration. So let's go to blueprints. And we're gonna need a water pump. So this will probably just have kind of tucked behind here maybe. We could also have a water tower. Let's maybe have one of these. And then we'll also have a underground well. Is that kind of how that works? I don't know. Is that how that works? Sure. Let's roll with that. Let's go custom. And let's see if we can connect those and if it helps that. Now, I don't know what the well even does. Let's just get rid of their water tower. And I'm just going to get a regular old filtration. Regular old water pump here. So let's get that, and then we can get one of these. I could probably hide this like right in here, honestly. We don't want it in the tree. Let's just put this on the ground. Kind of like right in there. I think that should fit nicely. And then we need some power to this as well. So let's get a distributor. And I'm just going to put this underneath. Might as well get that like that. And then let's connect this right to here. And then we got power. We should have filtration now. I do believe so. Yeah, we got filtration here now. Perfect. We got this water slide. People are already coming here. We just need to kind of fix this, I guess. We need an entrance. So let's just do a classic little entrance there. Now we should be able to open this. Let's do bargain prices, $40. It's absolutely insane. Let's add a couple of trees in here now. And maybe back through here as well. Oh, we also need a path going to this, don't we? Let's get a staff path. And this I'll kind of just get going right there. Maybe move a couple of these trees. None of them are actually in the ground anyway. Okay, let's do that. Just get a couple of trees in here. And kind of just fill this in a little bit. Okay, I don't mind that. We got our first little water coaster, water slide there. We need a couple of pool things. So let's go to pool extras, and we're gonna need a couple of these in here. Let's get one there, one there, one there, and we're also gonna need some lifeguards in here. Definitely gonna need some lifeguards. Whoa. That's a messed up path there. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Let's get some diving boards. Actually, before we do that, let's get some lifeguards. We could maybe have one right there. Just a little spot they can't really see, so let's just have somebody here yelling at those people. And then over here, we could have kind of the same thing. Maybe a couple of smaller ones. One over there, one over here. That should be fine. Okay, and now we need a couple little diving boards. Let's just do like one over here. Maybe one over there. A couple of these. Here, let's get a couple of smaller ones for the kids too. Or those less brave. That's me. And maybe one over there as well. Okay, this pool is looking pretty good. We got some nice filtration going on here. Okay, that's perfect. Should be doing pretty good. Now we're getting lots more people. We got 966 now. So that's quite lovely. We are going to need some amenities over here. So let's get like a bathroom over here maybe. Let's go to blueprints really quick. Oh, I'm also need a change room. I'm actually going to get this over here as well. Let's just put this like right there. And then we can kind of fix this. Yeah, perfect. This as well we need to fix. Okay, perfect. Now people can change. They can go to the bathroom. That's lovely. I'm gonna get a couple more little trees in here. And kind of behind here if we can. Just kind of fill this in. This is a nice little water park so far. I need a way to get it back to our entrance. Somehow, like, I don't know how we're really gonna do that. I guess we could connect it to there and then they can just leave from there, I guess. Because they should be able to go to our water park before coming here. So I'm just gonna take this. Let's kind of figure this out now. Let's just get this going right here. And I'm just gonna connect it right to there. Let's put our rail intersecting terrain. Yeah, that's not gonna let us, is it? Let's get rid of our water quickly here. Oh, and that waterfall's kind of in the way, isn't it? Nope, that works. That actually does work. That's actually perfect. And then we can get some water in here again. Okay, I think that should work. And now people can go right to the water park. That's perfect. How much are we charging for this? So let's go priority pass, pool pass. Okay, that's $14. Let's see how they like that price. Pool pass. Let's do custom. Let's just go as high as we can get before they start yelling at us. Let's do $16. Let's do $15.50. And then this is too high for those guests, so let's lower that a tiny bit. Okay, that's good. And I might actually get another one of these. Still within that. Let's get one of those. Or actually, let's go off to the side. Actually, that's gonna block that. Let's just leave that. And then, yeah, I love this. I'm gonna have to fix it a little bit, maybe. Yeah, let's maybe push this up just a tiny bit. Couple of roots showing through, but should be fine. Let's delete a couple of these trees, maybe. Like that one. Let's delete this one. Make it look a little bit better. And then let's fill in this little gap if we can. Kind of like that. And I still want to cover these if we can, just so you can't really see them. Kind of like that. And let's get rid of a couple of trees here. Okay, that should be a lot better. People can kind of come through here. We do have some trees that are kind of in the way. Let's just get rid of that. That's absolutely perfect. I love that. Well, let's get some garbages and stuff in here. We got bathrooms. I'm going to have like some other little things over here. But let's put some garbages throughout here. Let's just do that last. First, let's figure out where we want to put some, like I could probably have a food court over here, honestly. Like this. Like that's actually kind of perfect. Let's just have this. And if we put it over here, it will actually be, we'll have power to it. So let's just have it as far away from there as we can. I'd like to have another roller coaster if we can. Let's just put that right there, and then we'll fix a couple of these. Let's kind of fix this a little bit. Okay, that should be fine, and then this is kind of just doing its own thing. Okay, we have powered all of this, so let's do the top floor here. And this should be all the amenities we ever need for our little water park here. I think that kind of takes care of all of that. All of that is open. And I don't know how our staff is doing, so I guess we should probably see if they're nice and happy. Let's open up all of these, and I think we should even have a bathroom in here. Yeah, we got some toilets, so that's perfect. And she's already here, but we're probably going to want a couple more of these little guys. So let's get a couple more lifeguards to kind of swap out. And maybe a chief beef there. Cosmic cow. And maybe another splash lady. And what else could we get? Oh, gotta have the shark dude. Shark dude, what's up, man? Yeah, that should be pretty good. That is going pretty strong. People are riding it like there's no tomorrow. I could get another roller or little thing in here. The only problem is people can't really walk this way, but they can go that way, so that's fine. Let's maybe move this lifeguard to there, and then I could get another little coaster. I'd like to have another little flume in here. Something cool, something cool. Let's just go like something cool. Oh, we also have this indoor water park that we could put in here. Okay, I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold. Let's get this. So if we put that there, it kind of comes out the back, but I think, I'm assuming the, okay, entrance is right here. So we should be able to get that. We also have another one. Yeah, I definitely want to use this one. Yeah, this is so cool. Okay, let's lower this so it's on ground level. Okay, just like that. And then this I could probably just put like right next to that. Just like that, I guess. We got a couple little things we need to connect. So let's connect our fuel pump. And then this is power. What the heck is this? I don't know. Let's connect that. And then we'll also need power going to here. And then we probably want another fuel pump. Lots of fuel pumps needed. So let's get another one of these and we'll just connect it right to there. And then we'll actually get a few more of these if we can. We're gonna need some power over there as well. Let's get a thing. Let's go to custom. And let's get a little water pipe here. Let's connect this and let's see if we can make some of this stuff a little bit better. Let's connect to that. Let's connect to that one. And maybe even this one. Just we keep everything nice and filtered. That's quite nice. And then there should even be some shops in here, I think. Yeah, there's vending machines in there. That's awesome. Let's get some more power in here. A distributor might be kind of nice. Let's just put this like kind of right that underground. And then we should have some power. Oh shoot, what? I have to move this a little bit closer. Let's put that there, I guess. I think that should work. Let's take a look inside this thing. Like, this is insane. H2O indoor water park. Look at this. It's already full. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Whoever made this, it's absolutely insane. Okay, so let's open up these little things in here. So that's open. We need to open a few of these. Now we got ourselves a theme park. This is so cool. Let's open those up. We got our vendors opened up. And we got a couple other vending machines throughout here. That's so sick. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, so people are coming in. Oh, we need to open these up as well. So people can buy their little pool passes. Okay, that's awesome. And we already have our lifeguards in here. This is so cool. I love this. Okay, that thing is in full force. Let's get a couple more trees in here. And I want to be able to kind of see all this stuff. But let's just kind of do something like that. And then I guess over here I can just kind of round off with another little mountainside thing. Let's kind of just do something like this to kind of finish this off. Kind of like that maybe. And let's go a little bit higher if we can. Let's make this look a little bit better and let's kind of just push this back just a tiny bit now. Let's get rid of that tree. Okay, I don't mind that. That kind of finishes this little spot off. Okay, something like that. And we'll need to filter or get our water filtration for up here as well. So let's just get another filter and we can probably just put it like right there. And then connect down to that. So that's good. We can have our filtration up there. That is looking lovely. And I want to do something else over here. Like I could still get another flume in here. We're getting a lot more guests, which is nice. Mic check, testing, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can get another little flume in here. So we could have like, we gotta have this, right? Like this is pretty cool. So let's get this. I feel like we could get even a higher up version of that. Like that one's a little bit better. That one's tiny. Let's just go like, I don't know. There, this one's a little bit cooler. A little bit longer, and let's put this right next to here. I think it should be good right about there. Let's get rid of, oh wait, this is like a separate thing, never mind. I'll need to get something else. Yeah, these actually go into the pool, so let's just get this. And let's actually keep it over here, just so it's kind of near that. Let's do that. Now, oh shoot, people can't actually get to that one now. So that's gonna be a problem for us. So I guess what I could do instead is I could still get the one we just had. Like this one's pretty cool. And it actually doesn't require, let's just put this like here. Just like right there maybe. And then we can connect that to our pump. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. I don't mind that. It's like its own little thing that fits in there absolutely perfectly, and it's already got its own little thing. Let's test these out so we can get them opened. Okay, those should be fine now. Let's open those up. Set our pricing to bargain, $32. Oh, we're gonna make some bank here. Let's open these up. That one you can't charge quite as much, but that's fine. Okay, $32, there we go. Now they're open. Let's get a couple more of these chairs. These are pretty cool chairs, and honestly, I'm just gonna copy those. I actually really like them. Let's just get a few of them kind of throughout here. I could get a few kind of over here as well. Oh, that dude just vandalized that. What a jerk. Let's copy this and let's get it back where it was. And I guess we could get a few over here. And a few over here if we can. We have lots of garbage over here, so we're definitely gonna need some trash cans before people get too mad about it. Let's get a few over here. Maybe one or two over here as well. Kind of wherever people put them is basically what we're going for. And let's get a few over here as well. And then honestly, I should get a couple more janitors too. Yeah, it's not too bad. A couple more over here, and then we should be good. Something like that. Let's get a couple of garbages now. Let's get a couple more janitors first, actually. Let's get a few janitors. And then maybe another security guard over here. Maybe a couple of them. And then, yeah, let's get some more garbages in here. Let's start out with some trash cans. Let's just get like one on all corners of this. To start out, maybe one there. I don't want anybody like sitting next to the garbages if I can, because that's just kind of a bad little vibe, but let's kind of just do this. A few of these kind of littered throughout here. Okay, this isn't too bad. I'm definitely liking our little water park in here. We got a couple little flumes. Definitely stuff for people to ride. I could probably do something. No, I actually like this. We got our change rooms, we got all this stuff. I think we got pretty much everything we need. What else can we do this? Like, this is looking so cool. This is honestly one of the best parks I've built. I think there's another spot that we kind of just left. Or is that this spot? That's still kind of glitched. What else could we do to this little park here? Lots of guests coming in. We got almost 2,000 now, so that's amazing. Advertising, I think, went pretty well. We have 6%. Let's do a little thing for this now. So let's get people nice and aware of that. Coaster lovers are coming in. Yeah, that should definitely help out with that. As far as if people are happy, yeah, these people are all pretty happy. All of our workers. Guests are happy. Yeah, everyone's pretty happy. And income has gone up, I believe. Wait, we made $1 million today? What? Park value. Oh, I see. So park cash is slowly climbing up still. Profit is 58,000, so that's actually pretty good, especially for what we have going on. Let's maybe finish off a little bit of get a couple of trees in here, maybe. A couple more in here. I love this big water park. So cool. Let's just get a couple more little trees in here. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I am officially done this water park. I think that this is probably one of the best ones I've built to date. Like, this is absolutely insane. You got a nice little water park in here. Lots of little maze, kind of like, this is just so cool. I love that it's got hidden away. You don't know what you're going to. If you guys enjoyed this video, let's get this video to 800 likes to unlock the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.